Network. Brett, what's happening?
Brian, a Far City Mustang.
Oh,
Is that right? Everyone's named the Mustangs.
How about that? Well, Colin's White Station. He's
Yeah,
Spartan.
he's Spartan.
Yeah.
Colin, can you sing the White Station fight song?
Does White Station have a
Absolutely
fight
not.
song?
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes,
I don't
they do
know.
know.
Our fights, we always ran out to the Notre Dame fight song at Houston.
I went to your football game last year and saw that. No, the White Station fight song is set to the same music as Own Wisconsin. And 1 year at SEC Media Day, and now he is going to go places in coaching. Chris Marv, that played at White Station, that was a great linebacker at Vanderbilt. Where is Chris Marv, a linebackers coach this year? Somewhere big. He's going places. Chris Marv could be a head coach someday. And at SEC Media Days, George Lapita is in the first graduating class ever at White Station on Radio Row at SEC Media Days. He and Chris Marv sang the White Station fight song.
So he's at Virginia Tech now.
Is that right? With the new head coach?
Yeah. Two Mustangs and a Spartan. I was a Lancer.
Well,
what do we think about that?
Like Longwood.
Yeah.
We like Longwood.
Yeah,
the
Lancers. I mean, isn't that a horse? It's some sort of
it's a
four-legged animal.
It's a guy on the back of the horse.
This would be a
knight,
okay.
if you will.
A great way back Wednesday trivia question. Do you want extra credit? Maybe walk off, drop the mic, you win forever.
Okay. We have it today.
In my lifetime, the Secret Service has a code name for every president. I think President Reagan was Rawhide. They all have a code name. Who was the president that their Secret Service nickname was Lancer?
Lancer. Jimmy
Eisenhower.
Carter.
President Kennedy.
Oh, really?
Okay.
And
gotcha.
And the story goes that his longtime attaché aide-de-camp press secretary Pierre Salinger was flying overseas on a trip, and the technology much different then, and got a cable on the plane. Lancer is down.
Oh.
And that was I guess is down could be all encompassing, but that
I
was
think
the
they
Secret Service code for
Lancer.
Yeah.
That's the Lafayette Lancers.
Speaking of way back Wednesday,
you got some good ones today.
I do. I'm very proud of them too. 4, all multiple choice.
Okay, good. I need that.
What do they have to do with? Any hints?
Number 1 is music.
Okay, I love music.
2, back to one of my go-to topics with Gabe. After y'all shocked me that y'all did not study it in journalism school. One more Watergate question.
Watergate, I knew it was
yeah.
Sports movies. Y'all love hitting me with movies.
I love the sports movies.
Sports movies.
We've done it how many times have we hit you with sports
It's been a couple
movies,
times. We're always like, you haven't seen The Waterboy? You haven't seen Happy Gilmore?
The Waterboy Major League.
Oh, no,
and
for
Happy
sure.
Gilmore.
Oh, no, I'm not. Look, I'm on your side, Gabe. It's crazy that he's never seen it.
What are the baseball movies y'all always are shocked I haven't seen?
Major League.
Field of Dreams.
That's
Field.
Gets me every time. Tearjerker.
Got me last night.
It's not a baseball movie, though.
It's a movie about life.
Yeah, it's a movie about a family.
My favorite baseball movie is Gary Cooper in the Lou Gehrig story, and the name of it, Pride of the Yankees, and it's the Lou Gehrig story, and and the adaptation of that famous speech. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man alive. He said that very early on in the actual speech. Of course, in the movie, it's the last line. Like you said it last, but that was not.
Pride of the Yankees. A lot of pride in the Cardinals right now. How about them Cardinals?
First place, St. Louis Cardinals.
How about them?
You got a
Almost
magic number to
history
win the
last
division? I do.
Of course you do. What's the magic number?
It's the temperature right now, 97.
Oh.
What are they? How many games are they ahead of the Brewers? 1.5?
In the all-important
2?
loss column, too.
Oh my gosh. 97. Are you going to count down every one?
Better believe I am.
Yeah, of course. That's impressive.
You can make up wins. You can't make up losses.
I hear you. Let me lay down the show, and we'll get to some Cardinals. First hour of our show brought to you by Lexus of Memphis, the one and only Lexus dealership in Memphis. A lot to get to. NBA Finals discussion that we will have to discuss. We also talk NBA draft as it approaches very quickly. We're 8 days away. 8 days away.
And so many good stories for us locally. Of course, the Grizzlies and the area players, but why not Leicester? Where do they go?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, too, with the Grizzlies. 22, 29, and 47.
Well, I saw a mock over the weekend.
Well, yeah.
For Walker Kessler.
I saw it. Yeah, I was going to 29. That's the money pick for you.
Oh.
If they get him at 22, I'd be severely disappointed. I'm sorry.
29, you like?
29, I would like him at. 22.
I'm saying.
22 would be.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, it's like we'll talk about it. But two rookie contracts on this team right now, in what I would term sort of a go for it opportunity window.
I just remember, everyone, I once was enamored by T.J. Lee.
We'll bring on Matt Babcock from Babcock Hoops and from Basketball News at 5 to talk about the NBA draft. Also have to get to more golf talk as the U.S. Open tees it up tomorrow. John Gowen will join us for some talk and picks at 4, and we will have plenty to discuss. I mean, it just continued pressers, continued discuss. Live Golf versus the PGA Tour at this moment. Plenty in the NFL as well. Baker Mayfield and the Panthers, there's a trade possibility that they're discussing. He's owed $19 million for one more year of his contract through the Browns. But Panthers are talking about a trade possibility, and that could be on the forefront. Mike McCarthy says Dak Prescott's going to be more involved with the run game. So that was fun. What do you think about that, Brian? You like that?
I mean,
get him involved in the run game?
Get him involved as much as you can.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
I thought,
get him involved in the run game.
I'm pretty sure the Cowboys have a pretty solid running back contingent.
Yeah, they have a $90 million guy, and they have a guy behind him who's pretty good. That we know pretty.
Why you can get Dak
you say better?
Broken in
Say better?
Better. Go Tigers.
You're not the only Cowboy fan that says.
Yeah, no, that's becoming a popular. I hate that's becoming a popular assumption. Is that Tony Pollard is better than Zeke?
I don't think it's wildly inaccurate.
No, it's not, which scares me because of how much money we're paying Zeke.
Well, it's running backs. When you get to study him on film, you say Tony is a change of pace guy.
Oh, for sure.
So, like, having the game plan for 20 rushes, 15 rushes from Zeke, and then getting a Tony Pollard look, getting a Tony look is tough. That's really, really tough. Also, we'll have a little bit of college football to discuss, and we'll get to that and more with Alex Kuhn at the bottom of this hour at 3.
He was counting down outs last night.
Yeah, he was. AutoZone listener line 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. You can also watch us live and message us on our social, Sports56 WHBQ, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and go to our website, sports56whbq.com. Almost a no-hitter last night. First ones would have been the first one since Bud Smith. The fact that Bud Smith in his rookie year in 2001 is the last Cardinal no-hitter still kind of amazes me. Because Bud Smith wasn't that much. I mean, no, he wasn't that great.
Bud Smith pitched here, and I really liked him here. But Bud Smith was about 5'9", 180, sopping wet. He's a little bitty guy.
We root for guys like that.
We do. And
little guy.
That's kind of in my range.
I hear you.
Got me in some areas, but not so much in others.
But Miles Michaelis losing a no-hitter in the 9th. 2 outs, 2 strikes to Cal Mitchell. Of all people. And you
Cal
mentioned this.
bleeping Mitchell. Are you serious? And that's what I said in my house.
And
omitted bleeping.
Of course, the Cards win 9-1, so we're happy about that. But you brought this up when I came in the studio today. Harrison Bader, what was he so shallow for? What was he doing? Did the ball even land on the warning track? I don't even think he got to the warning track.
No. Why was he so in?
And because Cal Mitchell. That's
Cal Mitchell.
Cal Mitchell. But then they pulled him out. And
Cal Mitchell. They play FBS football against Cal Davis, right?
I couldn't tell you probably, but Cal Mitchell,
San Luis Obispo.
Cal Mitchell hits what, like 217, maybe 220 after that hit. Not much of a hitter. Doesn't have much pop.
Almost tomahawked one fair down the line earlier in the at bat.
But the win in general was solid. Sweep it. I don't care who you're playing. A back-to-back, a doubleheader.
It's hard to do. In gaming circles, they really go against that, don't they, Brian?
Oh, yeah.
They almost make you take the team that lost the earlier day, even in the day-night. When you go back-to-back, it's almost always a split.
All right, maybe unpopular opinion here, and you do have to get saved a lot when you're going for no-hit.
You can have unpopular opinions.
No-hitter, and when you're talking about a perfect game. But Nolan Gorman saved Miles Michaelis' bid twice. The diving play in the 4th, and then he had a ridiculous – it was at the 6th where he had that backhanded play where he had to –
And defense isn't his calling card.
He's been solid, right though, so far in the bigs.
He's there because of how he swings at Shillelagh, but his defense, I think, will be okay. I don't know where you're going to, over the course of his career, hide him. And now with the DH in the National League, you don't have to play hide and go seek as much.
But damn, Bud Smith. Bud Smith is the last
Bud
person.
Smith, Cal Mitchell, it all makes me mad.
Oh, my gosh. Adam Wainwright couldn't get one in his career.
There has not been a
Chris
Cardinal
Carpenter,
no-hitter in St. Louis
And there's been
since 1983.
who was that? Do you
Bob
know?
Forsch.
Bob Forsch. There you go.
Le-
How was he? Better than Bud Smith?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Bob
there we
Forsch,
go.
legendary Cardinal.
Yeah. I don't know much about Bob Forsch.
Passed away right after the 2011 World Series. Hit really hard. Bob Forsch had 2 no-hitters as a Cardinal and had a brother, Ken Forsch, that had a no-hitter, I think, with the Astros. But Bob Forsch got his late, I want to say on the last Saturday or Sunday of the year, in years that the Cardinals, well, they drew real well in 82, but in 83, wasn't a great year. I bet real human beings, there wasn't 15,000 people there that day.
Yeah, I hear you. But between Chris Carpenter and Adam Wainwright, we couldn't get one no-hitter out of those 2 guys.
Matt Morris.
He's a rung below those 2 guys, in my opinion. He was solid, though. He
Yeah.
was solid for years. Paul Goldschmidt yesterday.
Unreal.
6 for 8.
Unreal.
In a day-night doubleheader.
Oh, I missed on my dinger.
6 for 8, 3
need to
home
start
runs,
riding
8
Paul
RBIs. Well, I mean,
Standard Tuesday.
this is ridiculous what he's doing. I thought May was going to be the best month we'd see from Paul Goldschmidt in a Cardinal uniform. But so far in June, he's looking like he may surpass that.
Gabe, I know some of this is the division the Cardinals play in now with the swooning Brewers that the Cardinals will play 4 next week after 3 at Fenway this weekend. But Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and the Cubs are really bad. You combine those 3 players, you made a starting 9 or starting 8 and a pitching staff out of those 3 teams. You wouldn't have a lot right now. All of them trying to get better for the future. But that dulls it a little bit, my excitement for the Cardinals. But they are playing better than even I thought they would in early May when I was up there for the Orioles series. I don't know if it's the classic go for it year, but there are some things I like. And Goldschmidt doing what he's doing, get Arenado red hot.
Again. And he was to start the year.
And then 1 or 2, a Bader, a Gorman, a Carlson, really kind of play above what they are, kind of that Matt Carpenter big year, then it could be something in October that'd be a lot of fun.
You know, that's what I brought up yesterday. The reason I've been excited about these past 2 months with the Cardinals is the young guys. Just truthfully. Nolan Gorman, Juan Yepez, Brendan Donovan, all showing up. And, yes, they might go through they might have some issues. They might go through some lulls, but they haven't quite shown them yet. And Paul Goldschmidt's not showing signs of slowing down. Now, this torrid stretch, you'd imagine at some point slow down relatively.
You know who's provided nothing?
Who? Say it.
I'm going to duck.
Go for it.
I'm going to duck.
Go for it.
Albert and Yachty.
Well, yeah. I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect, though, from those guys?
More than 217.
Well, it is what it is. They're old. They've seen better days. I mean, just let's be honest about it. Coming into the year, when you asked me about Albert Pujols, and yes, it was more nostalgia than anything. I didn't expect him to be some.
Right, here's the stat line I dreamed of: 240, not going to be close.
Right.
14 to 20 homers.
I think that was
not going to be close.
But I think that was a high expectation.
50 to 80 RBI. Not going to be close.
But that expectation, I think, level is way too high because he's not going to be playing every day. Barely playing every other day in his current condition. Playing the field's not really an option. So, Albert, I knew he was going to be cornered into being just the nostalgia of this Cardinals team. Now, Yachty, when he's out there playing defensively, he's been solid.
Defense is plenty.
Offensively, I mean, I guess I'm not fully used to him being
I wanted about
world breaker.
230, 8 home runs, 60 RBI.
Yeah.
Not going to be close.
Speaking of Yachty, yesterday breaking the putouts record for catchers. So I think he's 50th on the all-time list. All the guys above him are first baseman or whatever it is. You brought up first ballot Hall of Fame. Very possible now that I kind of look at the numbers.
It's growing.
Pudge.
Now, I'm not going to fight over it. I'm not going to be offended if he's not. but it's getting closer than I thought it would.
This stat right here sort of puts me over the edge a little bit. I don't know if he'll be first ballot, but I think it's certainly a possibility. It needs to be discussed. Albert and him going in at the same time would be a hell of a story. But catchers with at least 9 Gold Gloves and 2,000 hits. Johnny, Bench, Pudge, and Yachty. I mean, both first ballot guys.
I'm surprised Carlton Fisk getting in there. I'm surprised Gary Carter's not in there. They're both in the Hall of Fame. Here's one, the text line. Get in the zone at the AutoZone text line, 901-360-8255. And I know people love turning him into the pinata because you get both him and them. Well, you get 3 things. You get him, them, and you get a chance to take a shot at Ole Miss. Who's more of a surefire first ballot guy, Eli Manning or Yadier Molina?
I'm going Yachty all day, Brett. All day.
It's not even close.
All day.
It's not even close. It's Eli Manning over Yadier Molina.
Give me Yachty. I respect Eli Manning as a Hall of Famer, but I have a lot of things I could say about it. I know Johnny. I know our guy Johnny Radio lets it be known his thoughts.
Call celeb about it, isn't it?
You know what I also noticed too with the Pirates? I didn't know Jackson Smith and Jigba's brother was part of the Pirates. Did you see that?
Yeah. I think that was his first at bat yesterday.
And Jackson Smith and Jigba, of course, the star wide receiver, probably wide receiver 1 in next year's draft. Cannon Smith and Jigba made his MLB debut yesterday.
A wide receiver, could he win the Heisman?
Jackson? Ooh, that's tough because his quarterback's so good too.
Quarterback's gonna get
But
we had Devontae do it when his quarterback was so good.
That's a good point.
That helps.
But also, you do have to think about the fact, like Ohio State, C.J. Stroud can spread the ball around. They got Marvin Harrison Jr.
A lot of that year, Mac Jones had Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, but I feel like once Jalen Waddle went out, Devontae got all the stats, and that's where it really transitioned to his sort of trophy to lose.
This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Give them a call at 901-334-9673. Great offers on all 2022 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2022 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design they make for the luxury driving experience. 901-334-9673. Online at lexusofmemphis.com, the one and only Lexus dealership in town. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
You know what? I love going here with the top story of the day. I know Brian's going to love this as well. NHL Stanley Cup. Game 1 tonight. Game 1 tonight on ABC.
Who are we for?
Lightning and Avs. I'm not for anybody. I just want to see this one play out.
Yeah, I just want a good series. But it'd be crazy to see it back to back to back.
Yes, a three-peat would be
I'm
insane.
for Colorado.
Three-peat would be insane. Like the Blues fan in me has some pride about how that Colorado series went, how the Avs series went. But Lightning have a chance to three-peat. Unbelievable to think about where they're at. And they have aging superstars. Steven Stamkos at 32 still doing what he's doing. Nikita Kucherov coming along. They have one of the best goalies in the game, and Andrei Vasilevsky. This is going to be...
Colorado once have the guy that's last name looked like Roy, but they pronounce it Wah?
Yes. And this is going to be one of the better matchups we've seen in a few years in the Stanley Cup, because the Avs on the other side, they're that up-and-coming team. They got a lot of young superstars, Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen. They have Cale Makar, one of the best defensemen in the league.
All right,
I'm telling you right now.
Hockey experts, where did Colorado move to Denver from? Who were they before they were the Avalanche?
Go ahead, Brian.
Montreal Expos. Hockey
version. Incorrect.
Are you Minnesota?
Incorrect.
Memphis, Tennessee, right
Quebec
here.
Nordiques.
What?
The what?
Quebec Nordiques.
There we go, the Nordiques. There you go. Shout out. Thanks for. I like my. Now I can win in sports trivia next time I get in that situation. But the Avs are so talented top to bottom. The Lightning, though, have that experience. This is going to be a true back and forth. I'd imagine this goes to 7. I know not a lot of people around here follow hockey like that. I would get to your TV to watch this series because it's going to be a fun one.
And it's on a network. It's on ABC. tonight should be a lot of fun. My top story, almost a no-hitter at New Busch Stadium. The Pirates are bad, and Miles Michaelis, and boy, I've heard his name butchered far and wide today by people that should know better.
What's the worst you've heard?
Mikolas.
Oh.
Mekolas. Mikolas. Miles Michaelis was really good last night, but it came down to a one-hitter on a 2-2 count with one to go. Why in the world was Harrison Bader playing so in? Still, never been a no-hitter at New Busch Stadium. Last one in St. Louis, as we said earlier, 1983, by Bob Force. Last Cardinals no-hitter anywhere, the diminutive Bud Smith in 2001. I've never seen one on any level of baseball.
Interesting.
High school, American Legion, college, nothing.
How many baseball games, whether it's minor league or major league, have you been to in your life to this point?
Easy over 500.
Easy?
Easy.
Yeah.
Just going to minor leagues here in Memphis from the Blues in 1970. I've been to over 500 games in Memphis, so it would be more than that. It would be, I've been to a lot of Arkansas Travelers games.
Yeah.
I've been to other, not just Cardinals.
I'd say I'm around 150 at this moment in my life.
I would say double, AAA, and Major League Baseball, easy 600.
Woo.
Easy.
Good Lord, that's crazy. If you count in ball games that watching American Legion at the ballpark.
Oh God.
In Forest City.
Oh,
probably like 1,500. Easy money.
In high school.
Well done.
And me, minor league, little league, pony league. Yeah. Oh wow.
Also,
and the mosquito bites to show it in Forest City.
with Miles Michaelis, the bounce back he's having this year is, and I know we're talking about a no-hitter and him losing it late last night.
He's very Bob Force-esque as I think about it.
He's done a heck of a job, and he's not a power pitcher by any stretch of the imagination. He's not going to strike out a whole bunch of people, but
no.
2.62 ERA with 5 wins already so far in this year after dealing with injuries the past couple. I think that's well done.
Not top story of the day.
I hinted at this off the top of the show, but Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy comes out in a presser today, and he hints at Dak using his running ability more in 2022.
Let's line up, run to wishbone.
Using more designed quarterback runs for Dak Prescott just 2 years after absolutely positively shattering his ankle. Let's not
read
hide
the defensive end.
Completely shattering his ankle. In 2018, though, I have to bring out this stat because I find it very interesting. In 2018, Dak had his most attempts rushing with 75. Jason Garrett tried to use him running a little bit more that year, and the Cowboys were 10-6, lost in the divisional round. Last year, he had his least, 48, and they were 12-5, and their offense was better because of it. I don't think that's a legitimate answer to make your team better. You can use it situationally. Go ahead. Read the defense. Do what you need to do. But you have a $90 million running back and an unbelievable backup in Tony Pollard. Let them do that.
I couldn't agree more. Why would you risk this? If he got hurt early in the year and they got off to that 1-7 start and McCarthy's out, I just don't think that would surprise anyone. If he gets hurt, he needs to be out. My not top story, just about everything that can be said has been said about Live Golf and their association, of course, with their owners, the Saudis. It's all been said. But the new term, sports washing, has been broken out. Now, are we going to have this same heated conversation next preseason when the NBA goes to the UAE? Maybe not as violent, maybe not the reputation of the Saudis.
It's up there.
But certainly no choir boys either at the UAE. We're going to have that conversation as heated, as full-throated as we've had about guys playing golf. Are we going to have that? And are we going to have it with the NBA's association with the Communist Chinese government, with Chairman Xi?
You know, Brett, I'm always going to be the one to say if you
And
call
I
out
question
one,
mark.
call out all.
Call
out one,
and we do.
Call out all. Because we take dirty money in this country, in this world, all the damn time. It's not new. It's not new, but for some reason when these things pop up, it becomes a brand new
Sports
thought.
washing.
A brand new thought that this happens, but it is what it is. That'll do it for top and not top story of the day. We're going to get to our first break right this second. When we come back, we bring on my brother, Alex Kuhn from KGYM Radio in Cedar Rapids. We do that on Sportstime with Gabe and Stats.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We've all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, that's not possible. There are aerial pictures that can be taken every 4 years that can be used to measure most buildings, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one looking at pictures that could be 4 years old. If you'd rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, give us a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best service we know how to give. Fiveash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Let's talk savings, Mid-South. Colin Johnston here from DeSoto Auto Sales. I want to go camping, but I can't till I sell more cars. So this month, my sticky situation could be your sweet solution. You could save a ton on a nicer, newer car. The more you spend, the more you save. Been burned by credit before? My For the People credit approval process is sweeter than chocolate. We want to help you drive a nicer, newer car today. So if you want to be a happy camper, stop burning up in a car you hate. Truck on down to DeSoto Auto Sales today. But hurry, this deal's done once I finally go camping. I'm Colin Johnston, your dealer for the people. New cars are arriving daily. See them all at DeSotoAutoSales.com. That's DeSotoAutoSales.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Vehicle purchase price determines actual discount. Offer absolutely expires on June 30th, 2022.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
What we are dealing with here is a perfect machine. It's really a miracle of evolution.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
I don't want to die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me.
Welcome back in. Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe. He's Stats. And joining us, as he does on a Wednesday at 3:30, is Alex Kuhn from KGYM Radio in Cedar Rapids at AlexKuhn523 on Twitter. Alex, what's happening?
Not a whole lot, guys. I got to forewarn you.
Okay.
If you hear a dog in the background barking at the landscapers and it's relentless, I apologize.
That's
for that,
Daisy.
But
Good old Daisy.
Yeah, I tried to
Dazed
find
and
the quietest
confused.
spot.
She's not a quiet dog. I'll tell you, that dog is not a quiet dog. How old is she at this point? I forget, like 2 years?
2 plus.
Is she out there? Do y'all do, is there birthday parties?
It should be.
Birthday parties for her? Okay.
Yep, I believe there's even doggy cake made.
Treats for everybody.
Although I got to say, at my house, I do draw the line. We've had 5 birthdays at this point for Nola. The one year that Taylor came home with a full cake and a hat to put on Nola, that's where I drew the line.
Why?
I don't want to put. Poor dogs don't want clothing on them.
It's for the pictures.
Well, yeah, it is for the pictures.
Same as for kids.
Yeah. But that dog, she was trying to scrape that.
You think
that hat
kids really
off
want to go see Santa when they're 2? They're scared to death of him. It's for
the
pictures.
Easter Bunny too. Yeah, all that. All right.
It's for us. Don't worry about their feelings.
We're not worried about Daisy.
My parents knew better than to take me to go see Santa.
When you were a kid, they did. I bet you.
Yeah.
You were. I mean,
out at the Galleria, I bet.
No, I think more
lost my
Chesterfield
mind.
Mall. area.
Was it?
Yeah. Chesterfield Mall is about to close down all the way. I mean, it's done.
I think I got a picture of me out at the Galleria seeing Santa. I'm serious.
Wow.
I was up there for a hockey game on a Saturday and a Rams game on Sunday.
Wait, what age? What are we talking about?
Like in 07.
You saw Santa?
No, we just walked by.
Okay,
and I took a picture of it
hold up.
with all the little people.
Brett, I was about to be worried.
Although
for
I'm
you.
not.
I was about to be very worried. If you were sitting in Santa's lap at 50 years old, I don't know how I would handle that.
What would be wrong with it?
A lot. Okay, while he looks for that picture, let me ask you about Baker Mayfield. I brought this up to start the show. Baker Mayfield is in discussions right now, or the Browns are in discussions about moving Baker Mayfield to the Panthers for a trade. And to this point, Alex, and I need to know your feelings on this, it feels like media and the Browns, of course, it feels like they're forcing there to be a market for Baker Mayfield when there's not really a market for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, like I felt that way for a while, and we've talked about number 1 draft picks before, and how you don't. There's cachet that comes with being the number 1 pick, and there's always that assumption that because somebody is the number 1 pick, there's no way that a guy that made the playoffs, took the Browns to the playoffs, and was the number 1 overall pick has no market as a starter. But I've been saying this for a while, that he really fills the role of an NFL backup.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, for $19 million, nobody is gonna trade for him, have to give up anything, and then take on the salary that he's owed next season. So I have no idea what's going to happen. Do the Browns just hang on to that contract, decide to keep him around and have him not play this year? Do they give him his full release prior to the season? Because I don't care if Deshaun Watson plays it down or not in Cleveland. It's pretty clear to me that the Browns have made the decision to move on from Baker Mayfield one way or another. But they're not going to be able to trade him. They're not going to be able to trade him. That's the point. So as far as trade market goes, I don't see a scenario in which it makes sense for anybody to do it. There aren't like mid-level contenders that feel that they're a Baker or Mayfield away from winning a Super Bowl.
Right.
There's certainly no top teams in the NFL that are still in need of a quarterback in June. And when you talk about the bad teams like Seattle, well, if you start Drew Lock and you get better draft position, maybe next year you can get C.J. Stroud. Bringing Baker Mayfield in may make you just good enough to where you ruin your draft position, get up to somewhere around 500, and well, that hurts you for the future. Mm-hmm. And once again, you're not paying $19 million for him, so it's never felt real, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'd be shocked if he were traded.
And you said it. It's mid-June. And the Panthers have a new OC and a new system altogether. Yes, they have decent, like DJ Moore.
It's time to get to work.
Robbie Anderson are fine. Yeah. It's time to get to work. And for him, it's not reasonable to expect Baker Mayfield or any quarterback to show up in June and be able to run the offense game one. That's just not real. Now, the only thing.
And also, what would that say about Matt Rule?
Right.
Desperation.
That's what I'm saying, and that's where I was going to go with this. It seems like the only reasonable explanation for the Panthers to actually trade is Matt Rule wants to meet some level of win win now, like a 7-8 wins,
yeah.
and possibly keep his job. I think that's the only
and bring Corral
explanation.
along a little slower.
Yeah, and that's fair, but like you can't do that with Sam Darnold.
That's kind of a good point.
And this is the thing. Like they gave up a lot for Sam Darnold, and that's strike one. Well, then they got so desperate last year they had to bring Cam Newton back. Well, that's not a good look.
That's strike two.
He did not succeed. Strike two. If he gives up anything to bring in Baker Mayfield for $19 million next year, no, strike three and you're out. And you talk about wanting to keep your job. That's not a good way to do it, because at least at this point you still have we're looking for the quarterback of the future in your back pocket. But then if you give away draft capital or ready-made NFL players or whatever, picks to get that guy for the amount that he is owed next year, which is way above what he's worth at this point in his career, it doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't it?
If you're Matt Rule, I feel like it feels like a ready-made way to get fired.
It sure does. Alex, doesn't it feel like they know enough about Darnold, and it's too early to throw Corral into this?
Yes, and like with Corral, he definitely needs time. He's a developmental guy, and who knows with those guys, it can go either way. You really don't know what you have, if anything, until a couple years down the road. And that's not to count him out, but when you're talking about third-round developmental guys, that's historically how it goes.
I missed badly on Sam Darnold. I thought he was going to be, because that Rose Bowl game against Penn State, man, he made some throws in that.
And even last year, the first 4 games, Panthers were 4-0. He looked solid. And, again, I just don't know how much better. And I truly, Alex, you made a good point about this. And like when people hear the point you made about Sam Darnold, why can't you get to 7 wins with Sam Darnold? They're going to say, well, Sam Darnold stinks. If you expect Baker Mayfield to come in right now, learn that offense, and then get them to 7 wins, and he can do that substantially better than Sam Darnold could, I think you're crazy. I think that's not a reasonable expectation for what Baker Mayfield can do.
And it's a lot to ask, Alex, of Matt Corral that the 2019 year that he started opening day in Memphis against the Tigers and threw for 91 yards. That was kind of a lost year. It took him a while to get comfortable in year one of Lane Kiffin in 2020, and then he had breakout last year. He might need some seasoning and laps around the track before he's thrust into that. I thought it was too much to ask of him to take him to SEC media days before he'd ever started a first game in 2019, and then that offense that Rich Rod had him in.
Shout out Rich Rod for those 92 pass yards.
And I can tell y'all that day in the press box, y'all would not believe what a lunatic Rich Rod was over the headsets.
I think I might believe.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, I think I believe it a little bit.
It was stunning. Now, it took me a while to figure it out. All day with language that can never be used on these airwaves, shouldn't be used in this building ever, or in polite society ever. And all day he's cussing and he's saying Matt. And at first I'm thinking, is he talking to Matt Luke like that? And then I realized, no, he's talking to Matt Corral like that.
Rich Rod.
I remember that day. Like I still use that day as Matt Corral's before and after.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Well, having
from 91 yards to what he became.
Having a coach who uses your talent.
When you have a coaching staff that gets it, that is able to cater to your skill sets, and you're able to find yourself in their system, it makes all the difference in the world. And Matt Corral is living proof of that.
And Lane Kiffin.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Now, on the college football front, let's get to that. Talk about that Memphis Ole Miss game. Memphis now in that AAC that today fully announced. FAU, Charlotte, North Texas, Rice, UTSA, and UAB will be joining July 1st, 2023. Brett and I talked about this the other day, but is it finally now setting in what the AAC will be, with the exit of Houston,
and what
Cincinnati,
it was,
and
Alex,
UCF.
It was a dang good football league.
It was, and a dang good basketball league too.
Mm-hmm.
It set in for me a while ago. Like I think there was that reaction of, oh my gosh, this is what the AAC is going to look like, and still that push of, man, I hope that one of these days there's a spot for Memphis at the table in the Big 12 or at the Power 5 level, because they're now in that spot where they have Power 5 caliber programs in the top 2 sports at their school. So there's no question that the basketball program, from a resources standpoint and from a history standpoint, is not a mid-major program in any way, shape, or form.
And the fans won't accept it.
And the fans will not accept that, nor should they, really, at this point. And for the football program, they have enough of a football program to sustain what it would take with the success that they've had. And then you bring that level of success, you get the notoriety of getting to a New Year's Six Bowl and having all kinds of NFL skill position players coming from your school. Well, that realistic next step is getting into a bigger conference so that your recruiting base can even grow bigger, and you can you can take that program to the next level, which is, to me, I remember somebody asked which of the new schools in the Big 12 is going to win the championship first, and I didn't hesitate to say Cincinnati, because look at the perfect storm that they are experiencing right now. They have their coach who will, unless Ohio State comes calling, will never leave them. He's recruited guys on both sides of the football that are first-round picks. They're coming off a year where they had the 4th or 5th overall pick and Ahmad Sauce Gardner. And they're already in a fertile recruiting base where their notoriety now as that second Power 5 program in the state that just also went to a college football playoff. Oh, they're going to explode because they have everything at once going for them. And it's frustrating now for Memphis, because you're like, oh, well, they're doing everything right on the football field. I know they had a 6-6 year ago, but I think that was an outlier. We'll see what happens this year.
Special teams changes that whole year last year.
Exactly, and in a basketball program that, for better or for worse, is in the national headlines with a very well known history and a well known coach. But they're kind of caught at a level where they feel that they're a little bit, I'm not going to say better than, but they feel that they deserve a shot at that next level. But the problem is, deserving never has anything to do with it.
That's it. And it makes hard jobs harder for Coach Silverfield and for Coach Hardaway, because the fans will expect them to bulldoze this competition.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe they should.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to expect that.
Yeah, but it's still is it's a tough pill to swallow.
But it won't just be expect to win by 20.
Yeah,
that's hard.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, it is.
All right, before we get you out of here, NBA Finals, is it over? And also, NHL Stanley Cup starts tonight. Who do you think wins, and in how many games?
All right, so I will take the Warriors to win in 7.
Okay.
This thing does go back to San Francisco, and give me the Tampa Bay Lightning in
3-peat.
So
Dynasty talk
7,
starts.
Crazy dynasty. I mean, they've been ridiculous.
Yeah. I like the Lightning. Yeah. It should be a great series, though.
I just, how they do it every year. And it really is kind of contrasting styles, though. You have a veteran-laden team with those veteran superstars, and the Avalanche still have a bunch of young guys playing at the peak of their abilities. It's going to be a fun one.
Exactly.
Starts tonight. Alex, appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Alex.
Yep. Talk to you guys next week.
You can follow Alex on Twitter at AlexCoon523. Let's go ahead and get to a break. when we come back. We have a little bit to discuss on the NFL front as Minkah Fitzpatrick of the Steelers gets a massive 4-year deal, a contract extension that he signs that makes him the highest paid safety ever. We'll talk about that when we come back on Sports Time with Gabe and Stats.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
How do you grow your business without spending more on credit card fees? Call Blake Jones, your local Mid-South Advanced Merchant Services representative. He works with your business to help it grow up to 3.9% instantly. Small business owners already have enough cost. Let Blake Jones help you lower your credit card processing cost risk-free. Absolutely no cost to you, the small business owner. Call 662-408-9324. That's 662-408-9324. Call Blake Jones today and start saving money tomorrow.
Hey, I got one of my best customers, Mark, here.
Hey, Montana.
Hey, Mark, tell Sports56 fans the deal of the century that I gave you at Sleep Cheap.
Yeah, I just bought the whole family some new mattresses. Our backs thank you. These are professional people to work with, good quality mattresses and box springs, and they under-promised and over-delivered. We got the Sports56 deal, the hybrid mattress and box springs regularly $1,000 for $599, and the wife and I got the king-size mattress normally $1,500 for $999.
Mark, it was a pleasure working with you. Glad you and your family are happy with the quality of our memory foam. Now I'm extending this manager's suite deal to my fellow Sports56 fans. Check out our 3 locations, 6330 Winchester, Memphis, 1069 Goodman Road in Horn Lake, and West Memphis, 1701 North Missouri Street. Also wanted to let you know Sleep Cheap mattress sets starting at $199 to $4,000. We have twin XLs, queen, king, California King, we got it all. And again, guys, take advantage of this sweet Sports56 hybrid mattress queen box deal. Normally $1,000, we got it for $599. We also have the King, normally $1,500, selling for $999. See y'all at Sleep Cheap.
Mid-South Hobbies is passionate about your hobby. They have your favorite model airplanes, boats, race cars, and trains to build with brands you know like Traxxas, Lionel, and LGB. Mid-South Hobbies has all the accessories to make them complete and thousands of paint colors to make them shine. You can reach the sky with rockets and kites or reach deep into your imagination with action figures, comic book superheroes, and fantasy quest games. Get passionate about your hobby at Mid-South Hobbies, 4862 Summer Avenue.
The Take It On sales event is still going strong at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Go the extra mile with 41 MPG Highway in your 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. $259 a month or buy for $17,885. Get ready for your summer road trip with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. $359 a month or buy for $25,285. Plus 2022 Outlander. Vacation ready with 7 seats. We Gossett at $369 a month or $29,005. And you'll always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 3.9. Outlander NZO 68336, MSRP 29505. Sport NU 009708, MSRP 26035. G4 NHF 05848, MSRP 18385. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Yeah.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
Open the door, sit in the seat, turn the key, and go.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
brawlers who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers. On the low from the Jake and the Taurus.
Back rolling. Wrap up hour number 1 here on Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe. He's Stats. If you want to reach out to us, AutoZone listener line, text us 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. You can also message us on our socials, Sports 56 WHBQ, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Now, I mentioned it before the break. Steelers and their safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, reach an agreement on a massive 4-year contract extension worth over $18.4 million per year. $36 million guaranteed at signing, makes him the highest paid safety of all time.
Has he been that good?
Yes, he has been that good. When you look at his statistics, it's different. He had 130 tackles in 2019, 77, or what am I talking about? I'm completely off. Has
he been the best Alabama defensive back in the NFL in the Saban years?
In 2019, 69 tackles, 79 in 2020, and then 124 in 2021. Had some picks here and there. As far as the Bama safeties go, that's tough.
Or just either safety or corner. Just Bama defensive backs. Because we've had some that were good but missed. Mark Barron.
Yes, he ended up playing, but Drake
Kirkpatrick.
He had a longer career in the NFL than people give him credit for. He was solid.
Landon Collins good.
Landon Collins really good, but we're talking about a guy.
Kareem Jackson
In 2019, 2020, Minkah Fitzpatrick, All-Pro, first team.
Javier Arenas.
I'd say Minkah Fitzpatrick, as of late, it's the best safety we've seen out of Alabama.
Robert Lester.
They have a lot of DBs. They have a lot of DBs, but he's earned it, and I think where the NFL's going with these safety types, with these defensive backs, you have 3 on the field at a time. You have nickel packages. You have all these different packages
Bring them down in
that
the box.
you need to have them there for. And when you look at Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's one of those where you have, for example, Derwin James. That's a box linebacker for all intents and purposes.
Right.
Landon Collins, box linebacker for all intents and purposes. He's one of the few that we look at, and I think Jesse Bates III fits this mold with the Bengals. He's one of those molds that does everything correctly. He can cover really well, stick to tight ends, and he can get down in the box and hit you a little bit.
I'm with you that he has been, but I'm trying to think of that game
at Alabama.
From Alabama. I'm trying to think of that game that we ran in here on Monday and talked about.
Minkah.
The Minkah Fitzpatrick game yesterday.
That's the thing, though. That's what I'm trying to say. He's all-encompassing, so he's just solid all around. He provides so much value to the teams he's on. I look at and I know that the Dolphins, they probably, in the grand scheme of things, from a money perspective and re-upping contracts, saw that maybe they would have to get rid of Minkah because they do have Byron Jones. They do have Xavier Howard. But to get rid of him after his rookie year the way they did, they have to look back on that in hindsight and say, what the hell were we doing? We could have had a ridiculous secondary for these 3 years.
And to send him someone
4 years.
That now when they're getting good, they might see in the playoffs.
Yes. Well, Steelers, though, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Steelers then. Will they be in the playoffs? Is that a playoff team to you, especially in that division? I say no.
Tough. I say no.
I just can't see it. Although, you always have to give credit where credit's due to Mike Tomlin and what he's done since he's been the coach there. He always has them.
He'll know I had a good year.
Either 500 or above 500 by a little bit, if not a lot more. But last year, being 9-7-1 with the team he had, it's interesting.
Yeah. It is. Brett Norsworthy here for FanDuel in the NBA Finals. Nearing the end. Don't miss out on your chance to score big on FanDuel Sportsbook throughout the NBA Finals. FanDuel giving new customers $200 in free bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Bet the money line, point spreads, player props, and so much more. Plus, you can combine your bets for an even bigger payday with a same-game parlay. Boston tomorrow night to win on the parquet. Over for the both teams combined and over for Jason Tatum's made three-pointers. Sign up for promo code CASH. If you haven't tried FanDuel, now is the perfect time to give it a shot because the only thing sweeter than watching the finals is cashing in on all the action. Join today with promo code CASH and turn a $5 bet into $200 in free bets, win or lose. Make every game feel like Game 7. Just Game 6 tomorrow night Make it feel great. FanDuel, official partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable free bets. It expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Still plenty to come. We're about to get to hour number 2. We have some NBA finals to discuss. We have some NBA draft to discuss, some Grizzlies to discuss. We have to get to way back Wednesday at the bottom of hour 2. But coming up next, we have a lot of discussion on golf, and we have some picks to make with our man from Timber Truss, John Goen.
It's time to vacation at home with Family Leisure. That's right. Enjoy a vacation in your own backyard with a little help from Family Leisure. Like play gyms and trampolines, they're now $500 off. And those trampolines, by the way, they've got that mesh on the side, so trampolines are now safe, and you'll be the hit of the neighborhood. They've got hot tubs in stock and ready to go, and you can get up to $1,000 off when you pick them up. All kinds of do-it-yourself pool specials, like savings of up to $1,500 on all in-stock pools when you pick it up and install them yourself. And if you're looking for patio furniture, then stop on in, because they have tons in stock and they're ready for you to pick up. So get ready for that vacation at home with the help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale. It's happening right now at Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun truly do come together.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, Orco hard coolers, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
The Take It On sales event is still going strong at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Go the extra mile with 41 MPG Highway in your 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. $259 a month or buy for $17,885. Get ready for your summer road trip with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. $359 a month or buy for $25,285. Plus 2022 Outlander. Vacation ready with 7 seats. We Gossett at $369 a month or $29,005. And you'll always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 3.9. Outlander NZO 68336. MSRP 29505. Sport NU 0090708. MSRP 26035. G4 NHFO 5848. MSRP 18385. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commissions, sales leads, and a great place to work. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flinn.com. Start your career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
Dad, come on, you're going to fall in the barbecue.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Hour 2 upon us on Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats on a hump day. I'm Gabe. He is Stats. Bryant Dacus producing the program today on the ones and twos. AutoZone listener line 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Text us questions, comments, concerns about anything we discussed today. Also, make sure you hit us up and message us on our social, Sports 56 WHBQ, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Without further ado, let's bring in John Goen from Timber Trust Golf for some golf talk and some picks on the U.S. Open that tees off tomorrow. John, what's happening?
Third major of the year, John.
Third major of the year, guys. I'm just sitting out here on the levee next to heading towards 16 tee box here at Timber Trust, watering greens, watering fairways, just taking it all in, trying to make sure I don't run into any snakes or anything else that might come at me. So
I hope you have water out there with you.
John, I've told you forever, running a golf course is like farming. It's either too much water or not enough.
No doubt. And, but right now, I mean, we'll take what we can get, a little bit of heat. We can figure out the water side of it a little bit from our standpoint. So
the golf course. The golf course this week at the U.S. Open, it features a par 4 of over 500 yards. Next week, I know next week is Hartford. It's not the U.S. Open, but it will have a 305-yard par 4. John, as a consumer, as a golf lover, I would much rather watch the risk-reward from a short par 3 than something 500 yards or short par 4 than a 500-yard par 4. Why does the USGA have to do this?
Because that's who they are, Stat. You and I have argued these points for years that, the USGA, although they have gotten better, I think in more recent years, is all about trying to figure out how they can protect par. And how they protect par is they lengthen the golf course and they grow the rough absurdly long. And they make these guys go play. And
landing area about the width of your vehicle.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's how the USGA has ultimately decided that they want to set up their major. Their whole goal is to, how do we protect par? And that's how they're going to do it. They're going to stretch these golf courses out absurdly long. It's not going to be anything that the general public would ever want to or enjoy playing. But that's what they do for these guys. They can hit it as far as they can right now. And yes, you're right. I remember the years at Southwind where there was literally conversations of how do we make a hole at Southwind a drivable or risk reward. I mean, we looked at 15, we looked at 17, we talked about 12. And obviously never came to fruition just because I don't think at the end of the day that Southwind needs something like that. I think that it took a beating all those years with soft greens and high scores that now that you finally had the golf course dialed in, you didn't need to gimmick it up again and turn the players against something that they ultimately wind up liking now. And Hartford has always had that. And it's good for them. I know that, generally the PGA of America tries to do something from a risk reward perspective. And the USGA has tried it in the past at Olympic Club and others. So
moved it up for Furyk.
Yep. Of which that wound up costing Furyk,
sure did.
A couple of them here and there. But, but I would much rather see the risk reward. Let's cause a little bit of trouble where you got a chance of making eagle, you got a chance of making double. And clearly we saw it at Southern Hills there on the 17th hole during the PGA Championship. So,
we saw it when Colin Morikawa won the PGA just a few years ago at Harding Park, a TPC course. I just think it makes it so much more fun.
So with that, for both of you guys, like what do we expect as far as scoring is concerned? Because I mean, when you look at the weather forecast, it's pretty decent except for Friday. Friday there may be a little bit of scattered showers, the whole thing. But where do we expect this by the end, by Sunday? What do we think these scores are actually going to be?
I mean, if there's a little bit of rain and and they get some wind, then I think you got to pretty much kind of predict something around par. I think that if the wind doesn't blow and it's fairly benign, I think outside of the USGA going crazy and not putting any water down, which they will more than likely want to do, and the ball rolls out into these, rough areas that they have put together, then I wouldn't think anything more than 4 or 5 would probably be your best chance. But, I mean,
about one a day.
It's a pretty wide swath.
About one and a half birdies a day. John, rank your majors in the order that you prefer, that you like, that you like watching.
Well, I mean, obviously, I think everybody's number one is Augusta. I enjoy the Open Championship just because you get to get up and golf's on automatically.
Especially like this year when it's at St. Andrews. That's clearly my two.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the PGA has done a really good job over the years of setting up golf courses and making it enjoyable to watch. I mean, clearly, I think, again, in most recent memory, Southern Hills was an enjoyable golf tournament to watch, especially Sunday as these guys were chasing after each other. And then
Bellry,
the U.S. Open is always kind of, I think the tail end of the tape there.
It's 4 for me as well, and I'll make this contention. Now, I know this week I think there are 22 major winners in it, but you go through the groupings, I think out of 50, whatever equals 156, 3 into 156, only 13 have at least one major winner in every group. Here's my contention. I don't think this is a great field this week, John.
Well, I don't think it historically ever is, because it's an Open Championship. You get a lot of amateurs and you get a lot of guys that go out there and qualify and ultimately don't do this for a living, and then they're going to go out there and they get into a situation that they're not accustomed to or comfortable enough with, and they're going to shoot, whatever over every single day, and they're going to slam their trunk and drive away home, and away you go. And, that's why ultimately, I mean, the Masters is an invitational. I get that. The PGA Championship, is I think a very strong field at the end of the day. Then of course the Open Championship is an Open as well, but, I don't know. It doesn't ever seem as if you get, quite the same impact, but I mean, I'm sure it's very, very similar with basically, having 2 Opens.
Now, third major, and honestly, we really haven't even talked about the U.S. Open. I mean, when we're talking about national news, it's just all about PGA Tour versus Live Golf. I'm just going to ask you curiously, did you see the any of the Live Golf their first tournament? Charles Schwartzel ended up winning.
I sent a picture to Stats every day.
John had it on in the shop.
Probably the only golf course in Memphis showing it, streaming it through our smart television.
What'd you think about it? What did you think about the setup?
Look, I mean, I thought, I thought it was very, very, it was interesting to say the least. I mean, the team concept did bring some, thoughts out. I mean, I think you're going to run into what they ran into as far as just things not necessarily being very even. If you get a guy like Charles Schwartzel that kind of runs away with the event, I think his team has a really good chance of running away with the event as well. But I looked into it a little bit more after last week's show. I mean, they have some, interesting hospitality concepts. I mean, they've got a Club 54 where literally they're playing music. It's not the cheapest thing out there to be able to attend. I mean, but similar to what the FedEx Cup playoffs are going to be here in Memphis and what they have been for the WGC the last few years. I mean, your day passes are $70. But if you want to get into an entertainment component where, the interesting part is that the players will actually come for Q&As into each hospitality area, you're looking at a couple grand a day per ticket. And it can go up a little bit more from there. But, I think that the fan interaction with as small as the fields are and everything, it's a bit more intimate. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. As I texted Stats the other day about, I'm tired of everybody acting like teenagers.
Right.
I don't know why. Why in the world does Rory McIlroy in his press conference after winning on Sunday have to take a shot at Greg Norman?
Because Norman's the most hated man in the world.
But it's completely uncalled for. So basically what you're willing to do is you're willing to take away from your moment for a guy who at the end of the day isn't relevant outside the fact that he's involved with a golf tour, right? So you're willing to take it off of you and towards somebody else.
Yeah, you give air to it. You give life to it.
That's a really good point, John. And also last weekend on Sunday, almost 3 million viewers on CBS for the Canadian Open, largest Canadian Open TV audience since 2000, largest in 22 years.
Well, I mean, you had a great leaderboard. I mean,
Sure
you had Finau and JT, and you had Rory all kind of battling there at the top. So, I mean, that's going to get eyeballs. And two, let's face it, right? I mean, everybody's choosing sides right now, and so viewers are going to ultimately support who they want to support, and the way that they can do it is by putting, eyeballs on televisions. And so, that's the only way that they can ultimately show their support is by watching. So
who is someone not announced that in the next few weeks you think Liv will steal away from the tour and it will be breaking news? It'll be shocking. Do you have anybody you think there's any likely suspects?
Shocking. I don't know whether there's any, I saw John Rahm kind of reaffirmed his position the other day. He would have been one.
But we had reaffirmation of a lot of people that now has changed that. And Rory McIlroy had a good line about it. They said, why did you seem so certain that Liv wouldn't work? He said, well, I guess I took them at their word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, clearly based off of, I think, his presser from yesterday, plus who's playing on that tour, I wouldn't be surprised if Koepka's gone.
Right.
I mean, he's got his brother out there. He's got a DJ out there. I mean, they all pal around together. So, I mean, I don't. It wouldn't be a shocker that Brooks goes, but he's yet another highly ranked player, and everybody's trying to talk about how the youth movement is not interested in going over there and how competitive it is and everything else. I mean,
wouldn't Rory be there? Joe Namath? Wouldn't it be Joe Namath signing with the Jets?
Yeah, but I tell you what, I mean, as much criticism as Phil is taking about doing it, Rory would probably lose every single person that probably has rooted for him as much as he has come out publicly and really, really taken shots and jabs and everything else. I think that it would be completely viewed for Rory as hypocritical.
Yeah,
and I don't think he could recover from it.
Mm-hmm. But Brooks Koepka, I think that's the one I look at very, very closely. His brother, and then he's avoiding questioning like he wasn't going to get those questions yesterday, John. If you're a professional
well, he got
golfer,
agitated by it.
Yeah, but if you're a professional golfer, you're going to get those questions. And doesn't mean you have to fully respond. You can say no comment. You could move on, but to get clearly agitated with the press members was a little weird.
Well, but again, I mean, I think that ultimately there is some personal tied into it. Even if Brooks stays put on the PGA Tour, I mean, he's fielding questions that ultimately they want to dig in at his brother, and that becomes pretty personal when you want to go after a family member. So
that's right.
I think that's potentially more of what the issue was there, as opposed to it just being, I don't want to answer questions about Liv. But yeah, I mean, Brooks is one of those guys that ultimately I think, is going to go just because, again, of who's there. I mean, now that you got Patrick Reed and you got DeChambeau, you got to resurrect the DeChambeau-Brooks Koepka feud, right? I mean, what a great way to do it on the Live Tour.
And maybe they would really fight, really exchange blows.
Well, I mean,
aren't they all kissed and made
about,
up though a little bit? Aren't they? Haven't they tried to drop swords?
Maybe, but the funny
and guess
part of
what
the whole
they did
thing
it
is
for money for the exhibition.
Right. We were talking about all these guys leaving and this, that, and the other thing, and who was ultimately going to replace the Brooks and Bryson feud. The Tour and Live is who has replaced that.
Wow.
And it's uglier than the previous one.
Well, it's substantially more front page news too. I mean, it's every single publication you look at, it's on the front page and what people are saying about it in the pressers. Now, you said you've watched. Curiously, when we get over sort of the newness of it, when it's not, oh, well, he made $4 million for being number one. Charles Schwartzel won more on his first event than he won on tour all these years. When that wears off, how long do you think that Live can be relevant? Do you think this is something that'll stay around for a while, or do you think that it will lose relevancy relatively quickly?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting to kind of see how these next 7 events shake out. I mean, you're going to get 3 of them or 4 of them. I can't remember in the States. I mean, they're going to be in Portland. They're going to be in Chicago. They're going to be in Boston. They're going to finish at Trump Doral, which of course is another very, very interesting little plot twist, right?
It's got it all, doesn't it?
completely ran away from anything to do with Trump and Doral and the Blue Monster and all that history. And where's the first place that Liv goes for their finale of all things? They're going to go right to the Blue Monster.
And he's mad over Bedminster and the PGA.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's quite comical, with that whole thing. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting over these next 7 days. I didn't hear or see, what any viewership was with regard to Liv.
Very small.
Yeah, first of all, it's on a streaming platform, so I'm sure it's not going to be massive by any stretch of the imagination until they can find a TV partner and figure out a way to broadcast it to more eyeballs. I do know that we ran into a couple of issues, here and there with the streaming aspect of it. So they've got some growing pains, just like any other startup business would have. But the other side of it is different than the USFL and the XFL and all these other things that have tried to compete with other people. I think the pocketbook's pretty deep here, guys. And I think that there's enough ego involved in it that they are willing to ride this thing out as long as they want to and wave the white flag. But I don't see at this point anybody giving up anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. I'd bet 2 more years right now. Yeah, I'd bet we're talking.
The whole thought is they're going to grow to about 15 events next year, so they're going to almost double the amount of events for next year. And then it's going to be interesting once you get into this off season. With the players and when you truly need to start making decisions and how much more money keeps getting floated around out there.
It's all about how long are you willing to throw money at something with minimal return. So we'll see. We'll see. It's up to them and getting a TV partner. If they can.
I'm very, very curious as to the gaming side of it.
The gambling.
What can I bet on, and how much revenue are they pulling on that aspect of it as well? Because I think that, I'd be curious as to what the, kind of the overseas piece was and if they got any of that side of it that, they potentially were hoping for, and that offsets, some of the revenue piece.
John, we will do picks, but first I want you to tell our listeners how this weekend, and it's a big one, fathers and sons, fathers and daughters enjoying time at the golf course, and tell our listeners how they can play down at Timber Truss.
Yeah, it should be a great weekend. Obviously a little bit warm, but the golf course is really kind of rounding out into shape, and really just pleased with how things are looking. So it'd be a great opportunity to come down and experience a really good golf course right now, I think. You can book your tee time online at timbertrustgolf.com, or you can call us at 662-895-3530. With the heat, we have introduced an on-course, food and beverage delivery service, piece. So you can actually just scan a QR code. You can order, pay through the app, and we will deliver it to you on course. So if it does get a little too warm for you, you need some more refreshments or some food, it literally just GPS targets you to within 2 feet of your golf cart. Wow. You've already prepaid. We just drop it in your golf cart for you. We drive off, and you've got all your stuff that you need right there for you. So a fun new feature that we've just kind of recently launched, and what a perfect time on a hot weekend to be able to get folks everything they need so they don't drop out from the heat.
And can watch the U.S. Open at the clubhouse. Bryant, you're up first. Give us your lock.
Well, we like Justin Thomas last week. We're going to do it again, so give me JT.
Why not? Gabe.
Easy money for me. What was Xander for you? It's Xander for you. Xander Schauffele's your guy. I go with Colin Morikawa. I'm going with him again this week.
Love them both. I think 15 different people could win this week. I mean, it could be, but I think it'll be a named person. John, going.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I think it is going to be a named person. I will go with the guy who just seems agitated at the world right now and just recently got married. I will go with Koepka.
Brooks
There you go.
Wow, that's a good pick. I'm going to go to win his first major. He's always knocking on the door. Will Zalatoris.
There you go. How much does he weigh? 150? 155? Something like that?
150 won't touch it. Bryant, shock us.
How about let's take a stab at Aaron Wise.
Whoa.
I like Aaron Wise for Bryant. Gabe?
This was the shock's really tough this week. I got to be honest with you.
It is.
I'm gonna go with Gary Woodland. Let's just do that.
Former U.S. Open winner as your shock. Not a prolific speller, as you've seen on the Golf Channel when they do the spelling contest at the U.S. Open. John?
I guess I'll go with another former U.S. Open winner, the Englishman Justin Rose.
There you go.
And I will round it out with, I'm going to hang in there with Davis Riley. So I have Will Zalatoris and Davis Riley. John, you have Brooks Koepka and Justin Rose. That's a loaded team right there. Gabe, you have Colin Morikawa and Gary Woodland. A lot of majors there. And Bryant, you have Justin Thomas and Aaron Wise.
Wait, so you said Gary Woodland was the one, the Massachusetts. He had to spell Massachusetts?
He couldn't get close.
Do we put John on the spot? John, can you spell Massachusetts?
No, do not put me on the spot, Gabe.
I hear you. All right, then in that case,
do it.
In that case, we'll let you go. Appreciate it as always.
Enjoy
John.
it, John, and happy Father's Day.
Thanks, guys. Same to y'all. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the golf, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody down here.
Thank you, man.
You have a good one, John. John going from Timber Trust Golf for golf talk and picks. I feel confident about what I have on the board this week. Bryant didn't.
Man,
take
those
my
are some
pick
stacked
finally.
teams.
Wait, you took
Aaron Wise.
you took Colin Morikawa 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with you. That was when me and my golf guy were doing picks, and I had it.
I remember.
Can't wait to
I'll say this though.
Guy.
That week, I remember a conversation before the show where we talked about Colin Morikawa. I feel like I was his golf guy that week.
That's a good one. Not far from where John going, where he is. It's All-Star Chevrolet at Olive Branch, right off Highway 78 at Kraft Goodman Road. And if you're looking for the new 2022 Silverado truck, that's where you need to go to. Crew cabs, double cabs, 4x4s, high country. Life is good at All-Star, and 1.9 financing is available. Your good credit, it deserves that. Kevin and Jeff, they're spot on making it happen for you. They have new Tahoes, lots of new Equinox, and a new Suburban, and how about this, a new black Corvette Stingray. You can still pre-order and get anything you want, or go online to allstarautogroup.com and look at all the certified pre-owned Silverados. If you want to sell any car or truck, All-Star Chevy is the go-to place. Bring it to Olive Branch and get your check today. You don't have to buy a thing. See Kevin or Jeff or any of the sales team for some crazy good cash. Bring it on, even if you owe money against it. Remember, it's not the Pike, it's not South Haven, it's not Bartlett, it's not Mount Moriah, it's not Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch down Highway 78, first exit into Mississippi at Kraft Goodman Road. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy and Olive Branch, or go to allstarautogroup.com. sportstime.com.
We get to a break. When we come back, we switch gears. We have a bunch of NBA Finals to get to. 2 questions that we're going to ask, burning questions. Is this series over? And also, at this moment, who is the Finals MVP? Who is your Finals MVP? We'll talk about that when we come back on Sports Time with Gabe and Stats.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Hi, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. For 38 years, Corky's been proud to serve our legendary slow-smoked barbecue in our dining room and drive-thru. Whether you're stopping by to pick up a barbecue sandwich or some of our award-winning catfish, you can add a third of a rack of our world-famous ribs for only $6.99. You heard that right. Add a third of a rack of ribs to any order for only $6.99.
Encore flavor, Corky's Barbecue.
13 platinum records, over 65 million albums sold worldwide. This is Poison. Brett, Bobby, Cece, Ricky. The original lineup returns. Sunday, July 3rd. Center stage at Silver Star Casino. Tickets on sale now. Visit PearlRiverResort.com. Don't miss the party of the year. Poison World Tour 2022.
Let's say you need a new car, so you go to a dealer, right? Wrong. You need to go to Mount Moriah Auto Sales. Why? Because why limit yourself to just one kind of car when you can choose from all kinds of cars, SUVs, and trucks? All different years, all different makes, all different models. Really good prices, too. Now, everyone says that about the money, but Mount Moriah Auto Sales proves it. They work hard to get you the deal you want, even financing. Plus, they have a huge full-service department to help you take care of your car. So many choices at Mount Moriah Auto Sales. They're almost unlimited with new vehicles coming in every day. Now, these are really good cars and trucks and SUVs that you'll want to drive. And yes, low miles too. It's so easy. Just go to Mount Moriah Auto Sales, tell them what you want, but keep your eyes open because you might just find the car of your dreams. Mount Moriah Auto Sales makes it all possible. Go to MountMoriahAutoSales.com. Mount Moriah Auto Sales, right on the corner, right on the price, right on Mount Moriah.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
How do you want that cooked? Burn to a crisp or bloody as hell?
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Back in on Sports Time with Gabe and Stats. Now, I want to point in the direction of the AutoZone listener line, 901-360-8255. We're going to get into the NBA Finals talk in just a moment. But Matt sends in a very good text about Live Golf, and I think it's very, very fair. Matt says, Live Golf cannot sustain itself long-term because it's going to consistently lose money. It will not be profitable, but those people can stand to lose a lot of money. But for how long?
That's right.
I think that's a very, very fair assessment of the situation.
And every venture capitalist, seed money, whatever league it's been, whether it's been a group of owners or like I mentioned Charlie Ebersol yesterday with that nefarious hedge fund, whether it was or wasn't one, at some point we've spent X and we've gotten back this, nothing.
Right. And that bunch of folks in Saudi Arabia taking out of their public fund, they don't want to lose money consistently hand over fist. They're willing to throw some at it to see if it'll grow. But if growth doesn't come, I could see that. I could see it folding up shop. We'll see, though. It's very, very early in the process here. And it seems like some people who have watched it are slightly intrigued. We'll see.
I saw the streaming numbers, which, that's not Greek to me, but it was.
Was it big or little?
Oh, itsy bitsy, and compared it to.
It's on YouTube, on their own channel.
I don't want to use an example because I don't remember, but it was something just itsy bitsy small.
And that's the thing. It would be different too. Like if you're streaming on somebody else's platform and they're paying you for your content, Live Golf is streaming off their own dollar as well. So you're gonna have to get somebody to pick it up eventually if you want to make money. And with all that's been said and all that's been discussed, I don't know if that will happen. I
wonder if one of the traditional networks would ever jump up for it. Fox has done so. Fox has hired Greg Norman before.
I'm not saying it's
he was so bad
out of the realm,
Open.
But I'm saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. But whoever were to do it, they know it comes with that. They know what the blowback would be, and it'd be tremendous, be huge. So. And don't even think about if you pick it up, if you end up picking up Live Golf, anything with the PGA Tour is off the table ever. That's done.
Ever, and they're outside your stockholders meeting.
Yeah, so it's just crazy.
Protesters are and should be.
Now, NBA Finals. We have Game 6 coming up tomorrow. Warriors have the 3-2 lead, 104-94 in Game 5.
Was that the best game so far?
Yeah, it was closest. It was solid. Although at the end, again, you got the backups and yada yada yada. So it was a little. It was the score wasn't as close as 10. I mean, Luke Cornett hit a 3, I think, to make it 94. First question about this: is this series over to you?
No.
Okay. So you think?
I think Boston still wins. So
really, in 7? Over. You think in 7? Okay, I think you picked 6 before the series. I picked 7. I think it's far from over, too. I think we get to a point where you want role players to step up. Can role players step up at home? That's where they're going to be. It's going to be in Boston tomorrow. I think Marcus Smart. I think Al Horford.
Boston makes it easier for the tie, and then you're only asking them to step up one more time. And that's Game 7.
And I think the Williams step up, Robert and Grant. Mm-hmm. I think you get something out of Derek White. But, again, for me, I was Celtics in 7 at the beginning of the series, but I'm almost off of that because of how inconsistent their stars are. It's consistent that they're going to be inconsistent. Somebody's going to Harry Houdini. Somebody's going to disappear during the game. And I feel like a mindset needs to be instilled in those two guys. We cannot be loose with the ball. We cannot be as relaxed as we are. Because the Celtics in every single game they've lost, it's been that way, though, right? And at this point,
that's a college number.
At this point, you've been above 15 turnovers 3 times, and you've lost in all 3 of those games. You've been under 15 turnovers twice, and you had 12 in each of those games, and you won them. So it's not a complicated formula for the Celtics to go win a ball game against this Warriors team, but it's been consistent that they're inconsistent. And I feel like that's one of the things that turns me off of my Celtics in 7 pick.
Brian, is it over to you?
Yes. I'm going to say yes. Since I picked Golden State in 7, I'm going to say yes.
So you think it's over in Boston in 6?
No, I think it's over in 7.
Yeah,
I'm going to hang on to my pick.
Okay.
I think Boston
steals
one.
It's not over yet then. If they steal,
no, it's over.
If they take
it's
one
over.
at home,
they'll get one more, but it's over.
Okay.
You're not going to go in Game 7 and win.
Playing the parade route.
No, plan it.
Did you see? Also, speaking of those, the turnover numbers. Did you see the number of points off turnovers the Warriors have had in this series?
What's the number?
103.
Wow.
103. That's the
I don't
most.
know what I was braced for, but I wasn't braced for that.
That's the most since 1992. Been 20 years since that type of number has showed up.
That was Jordan's Bulls.
That's how you lose. That's how you lose a finals, is giving somebody that amount of points off turnovers.
Talked about the Canadian Open ratings last weekend. Game 5 was a little bit bigger. It was in the 12.8 million, 13 million viewers, but it's still averaging very small viewership. The lowest Game 5 in number of viewers since 2003, New Jersey and the Lakers. And that was huge markets. And this is huge TV markets.
What do you think the reasoning is for that in particular?
I don't know. I wouldn't take a stab at it. I wouldn't.
I think this is the best matchup we could have had from an on-court basketball sense.
This might be it. 2 huge TV markets: Boston, New England, Northern California, Bay Area, and everything in between. Not interested.
Yeah. Basketball, NBA cities generally are going to be interested in the NBA finals.
Generally are. Even before,
but also
we
you look
team,
at, but you
we
look
would always win the largest viewership to not have a team out there.
You do get interested with those big markets like LA, like Chicago, like New York. Do they turn on, because those are massive markets for ratings, no matter what sport it is. I wonder if they sort of turn off of the NBA finals when their teams aren't as involved. Historically, we haven't really seen that type of number, though. That type of drop off. So I that's just it's weird to me. Maybe Warriors fatigue could be a reason, but I don't know. I have no idea what the situation.
Maybe
is.
Jeff Van Gundy fatigue.
People have that.
I have it, but I still watch.
I try to ignore him as best I can. Jeff Van Gundy, he's something, isn't he? Both the Van Gundys. Another question here. Finals MVP. Are people genuinely talking right now? If the Warriors win this series and go on to win the championship, are there really legitimate conversations about Andrew Wiggins being the Finals MVP?
I don't think serious voices are. If Golden State,
I've seen it out there.
If Golden State loses Game 6 and Steph Curry has a paltry 15. They win Game 7, and he has a ho-hum 19.
Mm-hmm.
He's still MVP.
Yes. He's okay. Numbers comparison. Let's just do this. Stephen Curry in these NBA finals: 31 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game. Andrew Wiggins, 18 points a game, 9 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game. And you can talk about Game 5. You can take the Game 5, and if Steph Curry has just a miserably awful 2 games in a row, and Andrew Wiggins saves them in Game 7, okay, maybe. But how realistic is that opportunity going to be? Not very.
All right, Boston wins it in 7. And there's not that 40 number from Jason Tatum. There's not even the 30 number from Jason Tatum. It's kind of spread out pretty equitably. You may have a bigger star in Game 6 than 7 and vice versa. Who is it for them then?
It's a fight for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
All right. Boston does that, and in defeat, Curry goes 45-45. Does he win it on the losing team?
I don't know. I can't. I don't know if I can do that. I can't.
We got to quit voting for the losing. I swear, anytime someone on the losing team wins an MVP, I'm thinking they handed the ballots out in the third quarter.
Shouldn't at this point, and I know it's not part of the rule book when we're voting, when these things get voted for, but shouldn't it be a thing in there saying if you're on the losing team, you can't win Finals MVP? Shouldn't that just be? We need to count that out.
I think it should be implied, but you think it should be stated?
No, yeah, I think it should be completely stated because we've had it before. I mean, it happened with Jerry West.
Only time for the NBA.
Yeah. So,
and I think that was the first year they even recognized an MVP.
And I also think that's pretty tacky, right? I think that's a little bit tacky.
No, Jerry always had all the meat in his hip pocket, though, from college on.
Another thing about Steph Curry and people talking about Wiggins possibly making a late rush at this Finals MVP. You can talk about Steph Curry all you want, being 0 for 9 from 3, breaking that 233-game 3-point streak, having the only game in his playoff career that he didn't make a 3 in. The other night, 16 points, 8 assists, only 1 turnover. Only 1 turnover. He helped his team. And there's so many times that Steph Curry's on the floor no matter what he's shooting, like if he's 0 for 8 from the field, the Celtics have to respect the hell out of him. They have to blitz him, and he gets the ball out of there, and he's good.
And he sure didn't hurt.
He's good at dishing.
Okay, maybe instead of 0 for 9, 1 for 9, but he sure didn't.
People don't give him enough credit for what he does facilitating.
And they won.
Well. And they won. So
that's the object.
So yes, he didn't have a good shooting night.
You don't go 4 for 4 every night of the World Series.
He didn't have a good shooting night, but he was decent on defense. Just sort of got in the way. And on the offensive end, 8 assists to 1 turnover, I'll take every single day of the week. We're about to get to a break, but before that, let me tell you about Bell Tavern. There's one place that Memphis has been missing for a while, and that place is Bell Tavern. It's been closed down, but it is reopening soon, and Memphis will be a better place because of it. People have been pent up for a while because of the pandemic, but it's time to get back out. You know about 117 Prime on Union. 117 Union is where that is. All you have to do is walk through the dining room, and you access the best bar in Memphis. It's the perfect place to start your night with a gourmet bite to eat, burgers, sandwiches, and starters, and end your night with the coldest beer in town and craft cocktails that you can only find in Barbaro Alley, tucked in between 2nd and Main. It is Bell Tavern. Let's get to that break. When we come back, it's time for a little bit of Way Back Wednesday.
You have opinions?
You bet.
Of course you do. Everyone does. Hit us up on the AutoZone listener line, 360-8255, 360-8255.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch.
Are you thirsty? Looking for the right drink in a unique setting in a great location? Welcome to the Beck & Call Rooftop Whiskey Bar, located high atop the Hyatt-centric Beale Street. Beck & Call is now open 7 days a week with the finest whiskey and the most incredible views of Beale Street, the Memphis skyline, and the Mississippi River. Enjoy this one-of-a-kind rooftop lounge every night of the week, Sunday through Thursday 4 to 10, and Friday and Saturday from 4 until midnight. The Beck & Call Rooftop Whiskey Bar, on top of Beale and on top of the Hyatt-centric Beale Street.
Hi, I'm Troy Fivesh, owner of Fivesh Roofing. Sunday, today and today only. And for the first 50 callers. These are things you will never hear me say in my ads. Because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you don't need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get someone's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or products? By overcharging you in the first place. That's how. 5S Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service, and I do it for a fair price, why would I need gimmicks? Best products, best warranties, and the best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5 Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Now that the warmer weather has arrived, let Choate's perform their $99 20-point AC tune-up to get your AC ready for the hot summer months ahead. Also, Choate's is offering our half-off 1 pound of Freon coupon on our website for you to use. Does your HVAC system need to be replaced? If so, right now is an excellent time to take advantage of Carrier's 60 months, no-interest financing on select systems. Want to improve your indoor air quality? Choate's is also offering our new ABCO air purifier for $100 off when you get your air ducts cleaned. UV technology sterilizes biological contaminants and neutralizes odors and toxic VOCs. Match that technology with getting your air ducts cleaned, and you'll have the indoor air quality your family needs. Better call 347-8086 today. These specials won't last long. Turn to the experts with Choate's and let our family serve your family.
Hey, Jeff Allen, I'm ready to get my Kia on. What's happening over on Mount Moriah at Gossett Kia South?
Hey, I know the car business is crazy right now, but we got them on the lot ready to ride. I've got a 2022 Kia Forte LXS $210 a month, 2022 Kia Soul LX $223 a month, both 36-month lease and $27.99 due at signing. Plus 2022 Kia Sorento LX $315, 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing.
And Jeff, your Kias are always equipped with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com. All 36-month leases, $650 acquisition fee, $30,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, 0 security deposit. Forte, $89.89, $848, MSRP $20,770, sold in $78.68.67, MSRP $20,880. Sorento, NG $128,223, MSRP $31,980. Must finance through Kia plus tax Highland license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 7/5/22. Dealer stock only. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
I think this is the best chicken I ever had.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Back in on Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe. He is Stats. AutoZone listener line 901-360-8255. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Text us questions, comments, concerns. But right now, it's time to bring those generations together. It's time for Way Back Wednesday. All right, I actually have a good feeling about today.
Okay.
I have a decent. You give me all multiple choice.
I gave you President Kennedy's code name. That would have won it forever for you. But 4 questions, all multiple choice, all just 4 options, A, B, C, or D. Question 1. Before Peyton Manning made Omaha famous, a band in the 90s had a hit song named Omaha.
Okay.
Who was that band? A, Stone Temple Pilots. B, Counting Crows. C, Toad the Wet Sprocket. Or D, Better Than Ezra.
Did you give me a date on the release date of this song?
94.
It's got to be before before you were born.
Shout out. Let's go Counting Crows. B. Let's go. That's yes. I love it.
On the same album with Mr. Jones.
What was we have to know about these other bands.
Stone Temple Pilots, really good.
Okay.
Toad the Wet Sprocket. I got on my
what a name.
They performed here. I think they were at Beale Street this year.
And Better Than Ezra, it was a big frat band in Baton Rouge, and then they had a breakout song or two in the 90s, and they got their name. They had a big rivalry with a band that was named Ezra.
Okay.
So to stick it to them, we're better than Ezra. and that's how they got their name.
Oh, okay.
They used to play all the SEC frat parties.
Really?
Yeah, and then they made it fairly big, but Counting Crow's
biggest of those four.
Question 2. One more Watergate question. You ready?
You need to write a book on Watergate.
I've read.
There's actually plenty of Watergate
I've read every
books
one
out
of
there.
them. I've read every one of them. And guess what? They all end the same.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, it does. So Larry O'Brien, for whom the championship trophy in the NBA is named, his role in Watergate was A, special prosecutor, B, chair of the House Judiciary Committee, C, senator and co-chair of the Select Committee, of which Tennessee and Howard Baker was vice chair, or D, chairman of the Democrat Party. Special prosecutor, chair of the House Judiciary Committee, Senate co-chair of Select Committee, or chairman of Democrat Party.
I'm down to C or D, and I'm going to go with C. It was D?
It was his office.
Oh, gosh. I should have got that.
Larry
But seriously,
O'Brien.
how many Watergate books have you read? Not written, but read? My gosh.
10.
That's impressive.
Nixon's memoirs, Haldeman's book, Ehrlichman's book, Archibald Cox's book, John Dean's book. That's 5.
Oh, my gosh.
Chuck Colson's book at 6. Peter Rodino, who was chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, 7.
Right.
Did Howard Baker do a book specific to
But
Watergate?
any book from someone who was dealing with it, you read.
So
more
there,
or less.
yeah, read that.
Okay.
Watched all the hearings.
Yeah.
All day, every day, summer of 73.
Yeah. Sequencing of events is always the same, you know?
Yeah. And it all ends the same
It all ends the same way.
Question 3. Sports movies from the 70s. Same movie, 2 different questions here. You ready?
Yep.
In the movie Brian Song, the story of Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo, their friendship as teammates with the Chicago Bears, who played Gale Sayers? A, Jimmy J.J. Walker, B, O.J. Simpson, C, LeVar Burton, or D, Billy D. Williams?
One more time, please.
Jimmy J.J. Walker, O.J. Simpson, LeVar Burton, or Billy D. Williams?
Give me C, LeVar Burton. Just please tell me it wouldn't be.
It was not.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Billy D. Williams.
Please. I didn't need B.
So naturally, with
OJ.
the Gale Sayers part of it, question 4, who played Brian Piccolo? A, James Caan, B, Jimmy Cagney, C, Jimmy Stewart, or D, Robert Redford? Caan, Cagney, Stewart, or Redford? Who played Brian Piccolo?
C.
Jimmy Stewart, no.
No. Is it A?
James Caan.
That was going to be my second guess. They always tell you to go with your first, though.
Got killed as Sonny in The Godfather and played Brian Piccolo.
I'm just glad O.J. Simpson didn't play Gale Sayers. That's
No,
all I'm
O.J.
saying.
was in.
Oh, he was in movies.
O.J.
I'm aware. I get
His
that.
famous movie, was it in the 70s or early 80s? Capricorn
Let's
1.
see this. We got to see this.
When he was an astronaut
O.J.
on
Simpson's
a fake moon mission
filmography.
and was off out in the desert when he broke loose from the set.
His filmography, The Naked Gun. He was in The Naked Gun.
Mm-hmm. I think Kareem was in Naked Gun, wasn't he?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Or was he in there?
Is that Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think that's it. I think that's who that is. Let's see here. OJ was in a lot. He was in way too much.
What was the name of the movie?
Capricorn 1.
Oh, 78.
78.
Yeah. This is unfortunate.
Hal Linden. Who else in Capricorn 1?
Oh, let's take a look.
James
cast.
Brolin. Jimmy
Elliot
Brolin.
Gould.
I don't remember
James
that.
Brolin.
Yeah.
Brenda Vaccaro.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sam Waterston.
Really? He was in that.
Yeah, he was Peter Willis.
They were under the summation there was the moon landings were fake.
Which is
We've
another
talked
big
about
conspiracy
that.
theory.
We talked about it.
Which is ridiculous.
I think we were 2-1.
Oh no,
when I asked that
there's
question on air.
no wind, but
There's no
somehow it was flapping. I don't know.
It's interesting. It's interesting. But also, what studio was it out of? If where was the studio at?
Oh, wow.
Have we gotten?
Who knows?
dove that far into
Sure,
it.
I could find something.
And didn't either Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin take a swing at somebody a few years ago that accused it of being fake?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know if it was a swing per se.
I'd be pretty angry.
It was something.
Sir, how long is that? How long is that? It's like what, it's about a 3-day to a. How long is it to the moon? Honestly, how long is that trip?
That's a good question.
Okay, Google
took a while. You talking about mesmerized in front of the TV when Neil Armstrong came down that ladder? Whole country was watching.
How long did he practice? One small step for man, one giant.
You think
the whole way up, the whole way up. Just saying that in his head.
He was looking
How
at
am I
a
gonna
mirror,
say it?
Like
Yeah.
Jim Nance.
Yeah,
like Nance calls his shot.
Okay, let's see. No way. Whatever I'm seeing on Google is full of it. It merely took 8 hours and 35 minutes to reach the surface of the moon.
It seemed
from
like
Earth.
longer than
No
that.
chance. No chance. I don't believe that for a second.
There was an ABC NASA space expert named Jules Verne that was great. Was the world's smartest man, and just every word he said, you were mesmerized by.
Mm-hmm. I got to know how many times that my man Neil Armstrong said his little saying on the way up. He had time to say it. Had plenty of time. Let's go ahead and get to our final break of hour number 2. When we come back, it'll be hour number 3. Still plenty to get to, but we start talking NBA draft and NBA finals with Matt Babcock.
The Blue Angels are back at the Memphis Air Show, June 18th and 19th at the Millington Memphis Airport. See the Blue Angels rip through the Memphis skies, performing acrobatic maneuvers and formations. Tons of death-defying performers. B-17 Texas Raiders, F-35 Lightning, F-22 Raptor, Leapfrogs, Skip Stewart, Kids Family Fun Zone. All performances are included in the price of admission. Discounted tickets are available for a limited time at MidSouthAirShow.com. See you at the Memphis Air Show, June 18th and 19th at the Millington Memphis Airport.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Are you considering replacing your heating and air conditioning system this spring? Good news, it's Carrier Cool Cash Days at Conway Services. Receive up to a $1,550 instant rebate toward the purchase of select Carrier Infinity systems. If you happen to need 2 new systems, that'd be up to a $3,100 instant rebate. If that's not enough, we'll include an April air cleaner, a 10-year parts warranty, and a free Nest thermostat. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511.
Let's talk savings, Mid-South. Colin Johnston here from DeSoto Auto Sales. I want to go camping, but I can't till I sell more cars. So this month, my sticky situation could be your sweet solution. You could save a ton on a nicer, newer car. The more you spend, the more you save. Been burned by credit before? My For the People credit approval process is sweeter than chocolate. We want to help you drive a nicer, newer car today. So if you want to be a happy camper, stop burning up in a car you hate. Truck on down to DeSoto Auto Sales today. But hurry, this deal's done once I finally go camping. I'm Colin Johnston, your dealer for the people. New cars are arriving daily. See them all at DeSotoAutoSales.com. That's DeSotoAutoSales.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Vehicle purchase price determines actual discount. Offer absolutely expires on June 30th, 2022.
In the alley since 1948, the world-famous Rendezvous. John, it's so good to see everything kind of getting back to normal.
Brett, we've done a lot of ads before, but maybe it's time for me to do a recap. We have valet parking at the end of our alley on Monroe. On Fridays and Saturdays, we give away our wonderful red beans and rice until it runs out. And you know we like to do things local. Miss Barbara Jackson of O Taste and See has been making these wonderful chess and pecan pies, that's pecan, not pecan, and key lime pies for dessert. And we just started serving this wonderful gelato from Sweet Magnolia Gelato Company. And just to remind everybody, you don't eat cheese and sausage with a knife and fork. You take a cracker, you put the sausage on it, you put a piece of cheese on it, a little mustard or a little sauce, take a bite and chase it with the pickle. Brett, we've always been the place for all gatherings, whether they're corporate, rehearsal dinners, retirement parties, birthday parties, whatever. We seat anywhere from 20 people to 250 people. And oh, by the way, we are now open for lunch from 11 o'clock on Tuesday through Saturday. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
Susan
Kevin, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code EARN for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's promo code EARN. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EARN for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code EARN for a $5 bonus.
The NBA playoffs is the world's greatest celebration of basketball. Hennessy champions the moves players are making on and off the court, because true greatness is making a long-term impact on your community. Make moves that start movements. Hennessy, the spirit of the NBA. Please enjoy Hennessy responsibly.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
Let's talk some numbers here.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
I used to feel so devastated. At times I thought we'd never make it. But now we on our way to greatness.
Hour 3 is here. Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. Hour left in the show. You can watch us live and message us on our socials. Sports 56 WHBQ, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Also, hit us up in the AutoZone listener line with this hour left. 901-360-8255. Get in the zone. AutoZone. We are we're 8 days away from the NBA draft. Definitely sneaking up on us. But I know one person that is not sneaking up on, and that's Matt Babcock from Basketball News and from Babcock Hoops at Matt Babcock 11 on Twitter. Matt, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, and you're right. We're 8 days away. It's my time to shine.
Yeah, no question about it.
Not lost by, but a little bit shrouded by the finals coverage. But for teams, here in Memphis, we're so proud that, not up there having to draft, 1, 2, 3, or 4. But those teams that are having to draft that way, their future starts in 8 days.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and you're right. I mean, there's a lot to be proud of with the Grizzlies. Not only did they accomplished a lot this year, but they've got a really young developing team. I mean, I'm interested to see how this unfolds in the next couple of years with their core unit.
And it was built in the draft, Matt.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What do they do in regards to? Do they do anything different than anybody else in the NBA? Or I mean, maybe there's other teams that are similar, but what do they do with their sort of talent evaluation that's gotten them to this point this quick?
I mean, from my understanding, is that the Grizzlies are very analytics-driven front office, and so I think that's one thing that's different. I think there's a handful of teams that are sort of in that category of leaning on analytics pretty heavily, and it's worked. I mean, I will say, it helps when you've got a young star like Ja Morant.
Right. You gotta get lucky.
It makes
lucky.
It makes the front office looks pretty smart when you got star players. I mean, it's a star-driven league, but they've done a great job with getting some good nice pieces there.
Let's go back to that Ja draft. Matt, it appears the Grizzlies did get very lucky, very fortunate that night. How will it play out in New Orleans? How does it finally end for Zion?
I mean, his success is so contingent on his health, and his weight. And so, I mean, he's still a young guy. Obviously, this last year was really disappointing with him not playing, but I'm still hopeful that he can get it back going, And I mean, when he's been on the court, he's been terrific. I mean, he's a max level player when he's healthy. It's just his physical limitations are.
I'm rooting for him too, Matt. I'm rooting. I want him to have the full, flower of a great career. Now it's going to end up 1 April, 1 May in a playoff. To my detriment, he's going to beat the Grizzlies at some time. I don't want him to, but I want him, and I want New Orleans to work. I want that franchise in that city to work.
No, absolutely, I agree. I mean, and Zion seems like a really good kid. I'm rooting for him too.
So at the top of the draft this year, Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren is sort of the debate we're seeing right now with the Magic with that number 1 overall pick. For you, what do you think happens, and how do you think that guy that you think they will go get will fit in with them?
Yeah, my bet it's going to be Jabari Smith, and most of the league are operating with the impression that it will be Jabari as number 1 guy. But I mean, there's from my understanding, Chet is in the mix. I mean, I don't think it's fully decided yet. So it would probably be one of those 2 guys. As far as how Jabari fits, I mean, he's so versatile. I mean, I think I wrote earlier in the year he's got the potential of being a prototypical stretch 4. I mean, he's an absolute sniper. He's a 6'10" guy that also is so versatile defensively. He's just really got a unique, combination of skills and tools that really can be plugged into any team. Because I mean, the lineup flexibility that he provides is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm. Now on the other guy, Chet Holmgren, 7 foot, not even really. I mean, he's just about 200 pounds, 195 thereabouts. I have struggled with this. I sort of wonder his first couple of years in the NBA how he fits in. And the thing is, when I say that, I understand some of the things he does. It's full unicorn stuff. His protection at the rim, the defense he plays, his ability to shoot from outside. He can put the ball on the ground even though he's wiry and long. How do you think, though, he fits in his first couple of years in the NBA?
I mean, similar to Jabari, I mean, he's very versatile offensively. I mean, he's so skilled for a guy that's, 7 foot plus with a, incredibly long wingspan. So, I mean, at the very least, he's going to be a skilled guy that can stretch the floor and block shots. I mean, the lack of strength and weight is definitely, a glaring issue on some level or another. And I think, how different evaluators kind of weigh out that issue is sort of, determining, how high they have him. I'm one that, I mean, I've liked Chet since he was in high school a lot, but the lack of strength is a problem. I mean, there'll be certain matchups where, he'll get pushed around quite a bit. So, I mean, it concerns me, if you're taking a guy this high in a draft that's pretty good, at least at the top, projecting that he's, going to be one of your top guys in the next few years, a guy that's not capable of defending everybody at his position does bother me a little bit. And that's the difference between Jabari and Chet for me.
Matt, is this a year where if you didn't get the number 1 pick, you're really sick over it, or you're kind of okay by it, plenty out there? Which one is it?
I mean, I think it's relatively close. I mean, we've had Jabari, I think, number 1 since November. So, I mean, we've been pretty solid on him. But I don't see this as a draft like where there's like a LeBron James or a Tim Duncan where it's just, or even Zion Williamson that year where it's just, hey, this guy's the number 1 pick, regardless of who gets it. So Jabari's had a slight edge. The top 4 for me, which is Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, Paolo Banchero, and Jaden Ivey. I mean, I'd be open for debates on all 4 of those guys.
Where would Jabari Smith have been selected in the first round last year?
He would have been in that first group. I don't know if he would have been the number 1 guy or not, but he probably would have been in the mix. It's definitely a tier 1 guy in probably just about any draft.
Because that's one of the amazing nuggets of many about Tim Duncan. He would have been number 1 any year he came out.
Yeah, sure.
Now, outside of those top 4, because you think that whether Jaden Ivey, Paolo, Chet, Jabari, and then whoever it is after that, outside of those top 4, who do you think in that first round that will be in one of those sort of slots? Who do you think is sort of flying under the radar that really will be an immediate impact guy, a guy who can really help a team day one once they step into their franchise?
I mean, the draft is typically, the top part of the draft is mostly young upside type guys. There really isn't a whole lot of veteran guys that I think are ready to step in and kind of be close to a finished product. The closest guys to that would probably be Ochai Agbaji from Kansas. I've got projected as like a late lottery, mid-first round pick. And then E.J. Liddell from Ohio State. I've got him going number 19 right now. But both guys, I think they're a little older. I mean, Agbaji was a senior. Liddell was a junior this past year. I think they're both ready to step in and play.
Mm-hmm. And E.J. Liddell, that's interesting. You said 19. Is that where you guys have him slotted?
Yeah, we have him going 19 to Minnesota right now.
Has he, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, through his time, has he sort of shot up through the pre-draft process, or has he always been slotted in that sort of area?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the whole year, he just sort of chipped away. At least to me, with me, he just really had a great season and does a lot of winning type stuff. I mean, he's not flashy, and I do think his game's going to need to evolve a little bit. They ran a lot of ISO, low post, mid post type stuff for him at Ohio State. I think he's going to turn into more of like a stretch big, complementary player. But yeah, he just a guy that I think teams looking for a piece to complement what they already have in place. I think he fits the bill.
Matt Babcock with us talking the NBA draft, and it's going to be here really soon, and the Grizzlies will be a player that night, maybe not as primary as years past because of the draft position, but it'll be interesting. We talked about their philosophy and their analytics driven and the really smart, sharp things they're doing. Who's the front office that you think, almost like the Tampa Bay Rays from baseball, everybody else should model after what team or a couple teams?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, San Antonio, I have a lot of respect for their front office. I really like how Miami does things. And a big part of it is they really value continuity. I mean, whether it be the coaching staff or the front office, they always seem to be on the same page and develop their own guys, and they seem to make good decisions generally too. And so those are two teams that I probably look up to the most.
Mm-hmm. Now, Grizzlies hold 22 and they hold 29. You guys in your mock draft at basketballnews.com, Jalen Williams from Santa Clara at 22, and at 29, Patrick Baldwin Jr., who, quite frankly, going to UW Milwaukee with his dad ends up getting ousted. His fall has been pretty insane when you think about it. I think he was slotted as a top 10, top 15 guy before we got to the college basketball season. Why do you think, when we look at them being slotted in those two spots to the Grizzlies, do you think that those two in particular would be solid fits for what the Grizzlies are trying to do going forward?
Yeah, so number 22 with Jalen Williams, I mean, he's been a guy that's been sort of a late riser. The pre-draft process has really helped him. He was terrific at the combine, and he's a really long, sort of like positionless perimeter player. I mean, he's sort of like a 3-2-1, or kind of do whatever you want. He's on ball, initiator, or he can play off the ball. He's good defensively, and somebody I think they can kind of plug him in and kind of use him in different ways, and takes the pressure off Ja, because I mean, I think they do need some other guys that can handle the ball a little bit. So I like the fit with Jalen Williams if he's there. And then with Patrick Baldwin, I mean, he had such a rough year. Battled injuries, and there's a lot of concern with his lack of toughness. Mm-hmm. But at 29, especially with a team that's got multiple picks, he still has a lot of talent. I mean, he's a big guy that's really skilled, and so I mean, at the very least, he could be a stretch big to provide some floor spacing for Ja.
Mm-hmm. How likely do you think it is? Because I've seen this a lot as we've gotten into the offseason with the Grizzlies. How likely do you think it is that they could package, either both of those picks or one of those picks, maybe move up, maybe do something else? Do you think that they'll stay in 22 and 29 and select two rookies?
Oh, it's definitely possible that they move up. I mean, it's, draft night. There's so, even years where there is a lot of, trades. I mean, there's so much that almost happens. And that's what's that's sort of fun about the draft. And it's sort of, for me being on the inside, I'm just kind of hearing a lot of the stuff that almost happened. And definitely possible that they can move up if there's a guy that they're targeting.
Matt, do you feel like the Grizzlies are in go for it, try to win a championship next year or in the next few years? And can you do that by sitting still and maybe playing the percentages, not making a lot of moves with the current roster, staying at 22 and 29? Can you be going for it and sit still?
I mean, I think there's probably be a balance. I mean, they have a team in place that's already competitive, and you'd hope all these guys keep getting better as well, right? So I think you could kind of develop organically. If it were me, I personally I wouldn't go all in yet. I'd still play the long game, but somewhat of a balance. I mean, getting some guys that are ready to contribute. I mean, obviously, last year they went for an upside guy with Zaire Williams. I think slowly but surely, kind of tiptoeing into win now mode.
Mm-hmm. We crushed that pick last year.
It worked out,
and we were wrong.
He looked solid in year one. There's no question, and he looks like a guy. And for you, looking at Zaire
Let me
Williams,
go first person. I crushed that pick, and I was wrong.
I did too, to a certain extent. He wasn't the only one. What did you think about Zaire Williams in year one with the Grizzlies? Did you think he sort of fit in, and do you think there's more growth that will be done and can be done in years to come?
Yeah, I didn't watch him a ton, closely this past year. But I mean, I did watch him when he was at Stanford, and it was such a weird year with the pandemic. I think he was dealing with some personal stuff off the floor too, and just didn't have that great a productive, freshman season. But I mean, he's got a lot of talent. I mean, he's so, he's got great size, skill, and he's got some pop. He did more than I expect. I didn't think he'd play much his rookie year, and they kind of threw him to the wolves. And, let him kind of figure things out, which I think is great. But yeah, no, I think, when it's all said and done, I think that's going to be a good pick.
Yeah, and the injury definitely. So, Dylan Brooks being out for an extended period of time definitely forced him into that role. Now, University of Memphis guys, we'll do one at a time. There's three I really want to focus on. Of course,
one's easy.
Jalen Duren. Do you think he gets slotted in that top 10? One, and what do you think about him as a prospect as a whole?
Yeah, so as far as his range goes, I think the highest that I would expect him to go would be number 7 to Portland.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Nurkic, who's their 5-man. That's a free agent. So he's possible at Portland. San Antonio at number 9 is possible. I've currently got him going number 11 in New York, and I'm actually sort of regretting it. I think New York's going to go with more of an offensive weapon at that pick if they stay put. Then a couple other picks, OKC at 12, and then Charlotte's got 13 and 15. He goes somewhere in between there, I would think, 7 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
As far as him as a prospect, I mean, you guys know, physically, he's so impressive.
Right.
I mean, I think he's the youngest guy in the draft.
Every single game, he was more impressive.
Oh, sure. Yeah, his physical tools are just off the hook. And he's actually more skilled than I think you would think he would be at first glance. He's a pretty good passer. He's got a nice touch. The biggest thing with me, with Duren is he going to play hard consistently? It's been sort of his, the knock on him since he's been in high school. Sometimes he's got a little bit of an inconsistent motor, selective motor. But if he's playing hard, the game could be pretty simple for him, and he could be productive.
Hey, game check can get you motivated, can't it?
Sure.
Well, it goes both ways. It cuts both ways, too, with some guys. I'll say that.
He can. And you talked about his skills, and even when he would miss shots, maybe even when he would miss bunnies around the rim, when I would see him shoot free throws and I would see that technique and that stroke, that told me he's got some touch in him.
Oh,
not that he made them all the time.
Are not bad. I don't know if he'll ever be necessarily a 3-point shooter,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not one of these just rim runner bigs. He's got some stuff to him.
Mm-hmm. Second guy is, and speaking of tools, it's been unbelievable to see what has been talked about with Josh Minot through the pre-draft process. And obviously at Memphis, didn't get to do a lot. And I know being on these airwaves and discussing it with Brett every day, we got text after text after text. And I'm not kidding you, Matt. Every text was about, why is Josh Minot not getting minutes at this moment? Why is he not playing as much? What do you think about Josh Minot? And I would imagine from a range perspective where he could possibly fall in this draft, it's relatively big.
Yeah, I'm sure he was frustrated this year. A really talented kid that just didn't get a chance to do a whole lot, like you mentioned, and totally an upside pick. We've got him slipping further than I actually thought he would before we did our simulated mock. We got him at 47, actually
to
going
the Grizzlies.
To the Grizzlies.
Yep.
But I think it wouldn't shock me if he went as high as late first. But I think he's going to, he's got sort of a wide range because he's a little bit of a developmental project, but he's got good size and he's just so dang bouncy. I just think his athleticism gives him a lot of upside. I'd like for him to really establish his identity as a player. I'm still not sure exactly what role he plays, but I do love the talent and the upside.
Realistically, with who he is, how young he is, and obviously you can't tell the future, but I'm going to tell you to get out your crystal ball regardless. Do you think he'll be a guy that spends time in the G League, Josh Minot?
Yeah, I would bet he plays some in the G League.
Okay, gotcha. And the last guy, and this is one that's been sort of debated. He's had a lot of workouts lately, just decided to keep his name in the NBA draft. What can you tell us about what you're hearing about Lester Quinones?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't heard much. He's not been hot on the radar, but I do know him pretty well as a player. Obviously, I've spent some time in Memphis the last few years. I think he's got a fighting chance. He's going to have to claw his way in, but
right.
He's an intangibles type guy. I think he could defend multiple positions and pretty well-rounded skill set. If if he's willing, to fight for it, I mean, he might have a chance to get on a roster. And, like I said, kind of clawing his way in.
And the way to claw in, and it was his calling card here, the hustle and the defense was there every time out. Every night he had it.
Now, when we talk about the G League Ignite, there's a lot of guys coming out of the G League Ignite. What have you thought of the first couple of years? What do you think about their development and what has become of their program they have going on right now?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the G League Ignite. I mean, obviously it was challenging starting during the pandemic,
of course.
But they made the most of it, and they had a great group of guys this year. I mean, I thought it really, the platform really helped. I mean, Dyson Daniels specifically. I mean, he really put himself. I mean, he's projected as a top 10 pick now, and Marjon Beauchamp, the same thing. I mean, he was sort of down and out. I met him a couple of years ago, and I thought there was very little chance he'd be able to be a first-round pick. And I mean, he seems pretty solidified as a probable first-round pick now. And Jaden Hardy's got a chance to be a first-round pick too. So yeah, I mean, it's great. It's definitely different than going to college. And these guys are playing against grown men. So I mean, the level of competition is great. It probably isn't for everybody. But I do, generally speaking, I do like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I love about the NBA draft, and I've seen it with the Grizzlies, and that's why I seem to love it so much, I latch on to, is the steals. I like seeing guys, whether it's late first round, into the second round, that make differences, that are guys that have good intangibles that sort of figure it out. Who are Matt Babcock's guys? Who fits that bill for you?
I mean, one guy, I don't think he's going to get drafted too late, but I personally would have him ranked higher than where he's at in most mock drafts is Ty Washington from Kentucky.
Okay.
I'm just a big fan of Ty. I think he's one of these kids. He's just got it. We've got him projected going number 17 right now to Houston. I think he's going to have a successful career. And then some of these younger guys that didn't get a chance to do a whole lot their freshman year, but have upside. Max Christie from Michigan State, Musa Diabate from Michigan, and then Minot. I mean, I think those three guys, it might take them a little while, but the upside is legitimate with them.
And it might not be with the team that drafts them.
Right.
The next team may get the real benefit.
Right.
Yeah, and that's how that works. Now, real quick, I have to ask because Brett hasn't asked yet. What do you think about Walker Kessler? Brett is absolute. I mean this, Matt. He is obsessed with Walker Kessler and what he did at Auburn in year 2 of his career. Do you think he's a first-round pick, and do you think he can make an immediate impact wherever he ends up going?
Yeah, I mean, right now we've got him projected to be a late first-round pick. I think he's probably somewhere, 20 to 35 or something like that. And from an evaluation standpoint, he is so damn big. I mean, he's just an incredible shot blocker, and he showed flashes of having some skill. I'm still not fully convinced he's going to be a guy that stretches the floor, but I mean, if he does, I mean, offensively,
do you think there's some potential there, though? Like, it's not ruled out.
It's not bad. I just, he doesn't seem real comfortable, like, letting it fly. And he played for Bruce Pearl, who lets the players, take whatever shots they want.
Right.
So can he get there from a confidence standpoint? And if he does, I mean, it's really going to open things up for him and just really add to his value. But at the very least, I mean, he's the big guy that's going to affect the game with his length and rim protection.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff, as always, from Matt Babcock on Twitter, at Matt Babcock 11. Let's do it again soon, Matt. Appreciate it, man.
No, absolutely. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Matt. Matt Babcock talking draft with us, and that was fun. This hour of our show brought to you every day by DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road and online at DeSotoAutoSales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and our entire surrounding area. And they keep it simple at DeSoto Auto Sales because they know we live in a world today that time really matters, and that's why they guarantee you the ultimate car experience. What is that? You find the car you want, test drive that car, credit approved, paperwork completed, and you're out of there in time, like right now, to be downtown tonight and plenty of time to be at the Redbirds game, to do anything you want to do. Do it over your lunch hour and be back at work in plenty of time. They can take care of you, and plenty of testimonials and referrals at DeSotoAutoSales.com to tell you all about it. All the cars thoroughly examined, all checked out bumper to bumper, unlimited inventory, every make, every model, and you'll be treated like family by kind, courteous employees at DeSoto Auto Sales. They care about your time, and they keep it simple for you. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales for that town and country experience every time.
We grab a break. When we come back, last 30 minutes of this Hump Day show, this Wednesday show on Sports Time with Gabe and Stats.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Acura of Memphis invites you to experience the all-new, completely redesigned 2022 Acura MDX. It's the most advanced SUV Acura has ever built. Experience the convenience of full connectivity, including built-in Alexa, Wi-Fi hotspot, and wireless charging, from the stunning interior complete with third-row seating. Stop by our state-of-the-art facility and take advantage of our aggressive APR offers today at Ridgeway and 385. Or shop online from the convenience of home now. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
It's time to vacation at home with Family Leisure. That's right. Enjoy a vacation in your own backyard with a little help from Family Leisure. Like play gyms and trampolines, they're now $500 off. And those trampolines, by the way, they've got that mesh on the side, so trampolines are now safe and you'll be the hit of the neighborhood. They've got hot tubs in stock and ready to go, and you can get up to $1,000 off when you pick them up. All kinds of do-it-yourself pool specials, like savings of up to $1,500 on all in-stock pools when you pick it up and install them yourself. And if you're looking for patio furniture, then stop on in, because they have tons in stock and they're ready for you to pick up. So get ready for that vacation at home with the help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale. It's happening right now at Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun truly do come together.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me, 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Hey, Mid-South, the Make the Switch event is on now at Gossett, and we're ready to put you in a new ride today. Have you been looking for the perfect vehicle for you and your family, but you're finding inventory's at its lowest? Well, we have the solution at Gossett. Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Fiat on the Pike. Stop the searching, stop the begging for a good deal. Come to Gossett, and we'll order the perfect vehicle for you at no extra charge. It'll be the color, the extras, the one you want to drive every day, all day long. Gossett will order the perfect vehicle just for you. It's easy, won't take long, won't break the bank, won't make you wait for hours. We'll order what you want at Gossett, 1901 Covington Pike. You won't be paying for market adjustments or added costs you can't even figure out. And you will not pay more than MSRP for your new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, or Fiat. Now is the time that you drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Fiat. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All pricing includes all rebates and incentives, excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2022. Dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
I couldn't believe it either, but that thing runs like new.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
My nail tech knows how to keep it a little secret. I don't wish for my success, I speak it. I caught a buzz and you did too, but you tweaking. I look like I've been getting money, how reeking. You smell me, that's LV. Walk around with my chest.
Last 30 minutes on this hump day on Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe. He's Stats. Now, we've already talked about the NBA Finals, asked those questions. I guess I'll pose those with the last 30 minutes, 901-360-8255. AutoZone listener line, getting this on AutoZone. Is this series over? Also, who do you think at this moment is the Finals MVP? I think a lot of people would pick Steph Curry for that award. Now, did you see what happened with this YouTuber who's banned for life?
Yeah,
from
I was going to bring that up at
Chase
the
Center?
beginning of the show.
Bold move, wasn't it?
Dawson Gurley, YouTuber that is fake Clay, right? That's his whole thing. That's
like
the only reason he's got
What's
a check
up with
mark.
all these fake people? We got fake Drake, fake
fake
Bird.
Drake. What's
I can tell
up
you,
with all of it?
the godfather of that was the famous sports imposter who famously got on the court, I think, for the 76 Boston Phoenix finals and got in the pregame layup line.
What?
Well, did you?
Yeah.
Well, Dawson Gurley, the fake Clay was on the court.
I mean, he didn't get into the layup line.
I think he said he bought like $10,000 worth of tickets to get in the stadium, and he's walking out of the tunnel. And
What's
no
he
one
do
said,
for a living to burn that kind of
YouTuber.
cash?
He's a YouTuber.
Have you seen the video?
YouTubers make money now, Brett. It's a new day.
Have you seen the video?
Yeah,
of what he did yesterday.
Yeah, he was shooting threes.
But he didn't buy a ticket to get in there. He just walked in.
Well, he said he spent $10,000 on tickets.
The original.
Well, he might have had tickets, but getting into that part, he just went through security.
So he didn't have to show ID or anything.
He walked in and he was in like warrior shorts and a jumper, and he just walks through.
Okay.
And he's walking down the stairs, and someone even looks at him and goes, "Let's get a dub tonight, Clay."
So many different
He's
things.
like, "Thanks, man."
Clay would not be walking in his warm-ups.
No.
I'll tell you that right now.
No.
That's one. Also, the guy looks like Clay. I'm not denying
He does.
that. He looks
Big
very
nose
similar.
and everything.
But
And
he's
did
a
he enter
little.
just
He's
general door.
No, it was the employee entrance. It'd be like where you would go for media entrance for the Grizzlies.
But he's a little chunkier.
Mm-hmm.
And is he 6'6"? That's my
I
biggest
would doubt
question.
it.
He doesn't look.
He's 6'4", is what I'm being told.
Have you seen him?
I saw him.
He looks like a chunky Clay.
with a hoodie on.
He looks like a chunky Clay.
I think the hoodie helped.
But either way, getting in there, imagine like if you were a fan going in there to like watch him warm up.
You're
like,
gosh, it's
Clay's
Clay.
going to be awful tonight. Clay's
And
going
then
to be terrible.
he missed the layup. I think that's what got him caught.
The original sports imposter got on the field for a baseball all-star game in '74, and that was the first year that baseball required every team being represented. And he's out shagging balls in the outfield.
Wait, is this the same guy?
No, it can't be.
Oh, I thought you were saying that this is like there's one imposter.
My grandson. But this cat's out there shagging fly balls, and standing by him is Sid Monge, M-O-N-G, a terrible pitcher for Cleveland. And the sports imposter cracks to Sid Monge, goes, you know, I'm not real. I really don't belong here. And Sid Monge goes, neither do I. He was like 4-11 and was Cleveland's all-star rep.
But I guess as it goes, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Kicked out of Chase Center for life. Is that too much? Is that too much?
Not just Chase Center, even their G League, the Santa Cruz Warriors can't go to one of those games either.
I think he was
hit Sid Monge, M-O-N-G-E, baseball ref life.
Is that too much, or is that right on board? I
So
think that's right there.
from what I gathered from the note, I thought it was all NBA arena, all NBA games.
I thought I saw Chase Center. You may
Well,
be
no,
right.
it was
I didn't
Chase Center
read
for
the
every
whole-
event, but I think it's any NBA game.
We rat him out. I'm going to guess Sid Monge career wins won't top 40.
Oh, it does, just barely though. 49-40 with a
that right?
3.53 ERA.
Shout out Sid Monge.
He was better than I thought he was. Hometown?
Hometown would be Agua Prieta, Mexico.
Didn't know that. Sid, I think more of you than I did before the day started. Sid's still with us.
Sid looks like he is still with
Even
us.
better.
Born in 51.
yeah, even better.
Well, Dawson Gurley's still with us, by the way, the YouTuber. Fake Clay.
He's making that kind of dough on the YouTube doing what?
Being fake Clay.
Sponsors, man.
It's what he does. It's literally. Isn't that? Am I mistaken on this, Bryant? Isn't that his whole thing?
Is being fake Clay?
Being fake Clay.
I'm pretty sure.
Like that's how he originally got famous, and then I guess he's been a YouTuber. I don't know if
Kerr
he's
a couple
always
years
fake.
ago mentioned him in the post game because they saw him. He was sitting behind the bench and they saw him, and everyone was pointing out "Oh, Clay, that looks like you."
You think Audi signs autographs as Clay?
Maybe he was taking pictures.
That's so weird.
Hit the bar scene as Clay?
That's pretty uncomfortable, though, in my opinion. If you're really out there at the bar scene, at the bars, faking to be a celebrity. And you're signing autographs. You're a weirdo.
It looks like he might do other
things.
videos, not just fake Clay.
What do you mean, among other things? What else are you?
Well, pretty creepy.
That's what I mean. Weirdo,
Yeah,
creepy. Yeah, it's all encompassing. If you're a weirdo, you're a weirdo.
Don't quibble.
But yeah, I don't know if because he's a checkmark guy. I don't know if banning him for life is the move, but I think they should have stepped up security and people should understand not to let it because Klay Thompson would not walk in the door in his warm up suit.
I had
goofy.
I had a friend of mine in the early 70s was a very famous Arkansas wide receiver, late 60s, early 70s, named Chuck Dykes, a great looking guy and well known. And I had a friend of mine that got around a lot playing the game in Little Rock and other places.
Right.
Is I'm Chuck Dykes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He pulled it off.
Has anybody ever told you look like anybody?
No.
Bryant?
Yeah. Somebody did tell me, former congressman from Arkansas, John Paul Hammerschmidt, when I didn't wear glasses.
John Paul Hammerschmidt. If I get a
Hammer and then SCHMIDT.
Schmidt, Hammerschmidt.
Had the best penmanship of anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Let's see. John Paul Hammerschmidt.
Without glasses now.
Without glasses.
We got anything?
Okay.
Close?
Yeah. His younger days, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His younger days. Yeah, I see that.
Very
I can
nice
see that.
man.
I've gotten, what's the country singer? Luke Combs. You ever seen Luke Combs?
I don't know my country stars.
Oh, okay. I've gotten Luke Combs.
Now, a friend of mine texted me, and this is true. We had a friend of ours at Fayetteville, and later a big, not documentary, but a piece on it on Little Rock TV. This friend of ours, with help of a lot of Razorback football players, he got into the locker room pregame in uniform, wearing his high school uniform number 56, because he was always a 56, and ran through the A for a Texas game.
No way.
Oh, second half, drink in the stands with us.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And one of the people that helped him,
that's
that
awesome.
got him in the locker room,
That's great.
that people would have a fit over now, and I can't divulge.
You know what
the
that
name.
reminds me of? Remember a couple years ago, the USC the football team was out practicing, and they had a homeless man come practice with them. He somehow found some shoulder
got into
pads and
Heritage
some
Hall.
helmets.
Yeah.
He was practicing with them on the field.
But this friend of ours, I mean, in the photos of in one critical part of the first half, he's standing by the head coach as a play's being called in, from the press box, and he's right in the middle of it all. It was his one shining moment.
Brian, you got any doppelgangers?
Well, when I was in middle school, a girl actually told me that I looked like a young Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, now you're going too far.
I tell people that all the time. Like, yeah, someone once told me I look like a young Leo. And they're like, I don't know. One of my friends still says, he's like, yeah, you do look like a young Leo.
Is this in your slot receiver days?
No, this was before. This was my baseball days.
Okay.
So.
You do not look.
I don't know what I can say.
Some
lied. Girl, she told me, she said,
with all due respect,
she goes, you know who Leonardo DiCaprio is? I said, I do. She said, you look like a young Leonardo DiCaprio.
A Capitol policeman asked me, he said, hey, you got to be John Paul Hammerschmidt's son. I go, no.
You do kind of. I mean, it's similar. Yeah. I mean, comb over. You had comb over back in the day, not comb over.
Comb over.
Not comb over. Like you definitely
had the same hairdo forever.
Then how do you describe your hairstyle then?
Part?
Yeah, a part.
Yeah.
What comb over? When I say comb over, what are you thinking?
Gene Katie, like you're growing a little bit down here and coming way over the top with it. Like Trump. I mean, Trump had a little bit here and kind of could work it all around in a big quad.
So you're thinking like like Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura. That's what you're thinking when I say comb over. Like long,
I don't know the
swooped
movie.
over.
I don't know the movie.
You're not a movie guy, Brett, are you?
No.
I feel like you have it. When was the last time you went into a movie theater? And
That's easy. Forrest Gump, when it was at the big screen.
Oh, okay.
That's the last movie you went and saw in theaters. Wow.
Yeah, in the 90s. Yeah. My favorite movie ever.
It's a good movie.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's a love story.
It is. Sure is.
At its core, it's a love story. We may have Forrest Gump in Way Back Wednesday question next week because that just gets in under the date.
I could give you a Way Back Wednesday question for Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I'll get that. Well, unless you go real specific.
In his years at Alabama, like in the
hot take though, Jenny was not a very good person.
No, but it didn't end well either, did it?
No.
She broke his heart.
Oh gosh, you had to say it that way. You had to put it that way.
Well,
didn't end well for her.
She passed.
Yeah, and she was.
But in the movie,
she was a piece of work. I'll tell you what.
In the movie, Forrest wore 44 at Alabama. Named the famous college football defensive coordinator that was at Alabama in those years and wore number 44.
0% chance I get that.
Famous at Florida State under Coach Bobby Bowden.
Who?
Mickey Andrews.
Mickey Andrews.
He was at Bama in those years and wore 44, and he said he could not run like that.
Forrest Gump, the best kick returner in Alabama history to this day. How about it? But young Leo, I'm still kind of hung up on that, Brian. We need to talk.
What can I say?
That person needs their eyes checked.
I'm just telling you what they told me. I don't know. I'll take it.
They need to go over to Vision
It's a
Works.
compliment.
One or two?
Leo's big movie was the Wall Street movie.
He's had a couple.
He's had a bunch.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street is a good one. He's been in everything though. He's in every Quentin Tarantino.
He's in Titanic.
He's in every Quentin Tarantino movie.
Titanic, much like Watergate, I know how it ends.
Yeah, but you still watch and read a lot about it.
Oh gosh! And by the way, speaking of, I've already brought up Jenny was not a good person. Jack could have fit on that plank.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
he could have fit.
I mean, come on, let's save some lives here.
That's what I'm saying.
Back on.
Good Lord, Jack died for nothing.
Nothing.
Leo died for nothing. Wait, are you? So you're not familiar with Leo movies, huh?
Not at all.
Are you not familiar? Have you ever seen Titanic?
Only in fits and starts, never from start to finish. Man, I know how it ends. Big iceberg, boat.
No spoilers for you. I mean, it's more than that, though. I mean, it's a story.
It's a love story.
I think the movie actually lasted longer than it took for the boat to sink, didn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I'd imagine. But, I mean, the boat sinking is what, the last 25 minutes of the movie?
But that's kind of the story.
It is. It is.
Great Gatsby, another Liam. I love Great Gatsby.
I like his. Are you a Quentin Tarantino guy?
No.
I like the Tarantino movies.
I haven't seen a lot.
He's
Quentin Tarantino movies.
He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Django.
So was Austin Butler.
Yeah, he was. Mm-hmm. He was. Good movies.
Yeah.
Good movies.
So I've heard.
I need to catch up on movies. Here's what we all are. We're all fans of milkshakes on hot days like this, and you can get them at two great locations at Belly Acres. Belly Acres, their motto, Cityfied Farm Fresh. The goal is simple, provide a fun, unique farm-to-table experience for the entire family. Those locations, Regalia at 6130 Poplar and in Overton Square at 2102 Trimble Place, and coming before this calendar year ends, coming to Silo Square in South Haven. I mentioned the heat, and I mentioned the milkshakes, the very best in town. Like the burgers, they are as well. Signature burgers made from 100% grass-fed beef, sandwiches, salads, and those milkshakes. The burgers like the Dare Ya or the Double Dare Ya, and the melt in your mouth, and you have to try the Voodoo Moo Moo. It is the quality brand the Belly Acres team developed using grass-fed beef with creative homemade toppings in a fun farm setting right here in the big city. Tomorrow and Friday during the daytime, you want to watch the U.S. Open, and it's on all day, every day. You can watch it all. They'll have it on all the TVs. The goal at Belly Acres, to become even more sustainable as they grow, and they will. Now in Overton Square and in Regalia, and coming soon to Silo Square in South Haven. The very best quality available in town. It's at Belly Acres. Burger, shakes, and smiles every time at Belly Acres.
You know, I have to read this. You know, it's not very nice to you.
That's okay.
Not to you. I'm talking about to Brian. We're going to get on Brian real quick.
I've been
Johnny Radio,
called
good old Johnny Radio, texted me. He said you look like Leo. He'll
Way
give you
to go,
that.
John.
Hey, thank you.
Except he says you look like the cracked out version of Leo in
That's
Basketball
fine,
Diaries.
as long as I look like Leo.
In Basketball Diaries.
I'll just exclude that part when I'm telling people I look like Leo.
Okay.
And
Now, multiple people
I
told me
said it
look like
earlier,
Leo.
John. The only thing we've ever disagreed on, well, not the only thing, but the biggest thing, is your contempt for Eli Manning.
Yeah. He's got a lot of it. I love his argument about take away those 2 years and what do you have? You can't take away.
Take away the iceberg, you have no Titanic
Exactly.
movie.
It's a pretty successful trip.
That's true. It does. Let's get to our final break. When we come back, we wrap up Sports Time with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios. Grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers. Everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
It's time for another season of golf at Miramichi. You know the spot, 15 minutes north of downtown in Woodstock. I call it heaven. It's 330 acres of natural beauty, 7,400 yards of championship-level golf, but there are several different tee boxes which make it fun or competitive for every level of golf. And the practice facilities are as good as any country club, and every round of golf comes with a cart and complimentary range balls. You can really improve your game, and you'll love the prices, too. Seniors can play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for as low as $33. Again, the golf cart and the range balls are thrown in. The standard weekday rates are as low as $44. Friday, it's $50, and on Sunday, it's $55. You'll love the view from the terrace. You look out and see the best view in all of Shelby County. The whole experience, it's just fantastic. Go check it out yourself at Miramichi.
It's time for the 64th Annual St. Louis Hole-in-One Charity Festival, running Sunday, June 19th through Saturday, June 25th. The top 10 winners of the week-long Carnival Cup will get a chance to win $1 million. Golfers will also have a chance to win $25,000 toward the purchase of a vehicle from City Auto. There'll be the popular children's golf Saturday from 2 to 4. There'll also be nightly cornhole tournaments and, of course, carnival rides Friday and Saturday nights. It's a week of great food and family fun, all at St. Louis Catholic Church, 203 South White Station Road.
The Take It On sales event is still going strong at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Go the extra mile with 41 MPG Highway in your 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $259 a month, or buy for $17,885. Get ready for your summer road trip with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $359 a month, or buy for $25,285. Plus 2022 Outlander, vacation ready with 7 seats. We Gossett at $369 a month or $29,005, and you'll always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 3.9. Outlander NZO 68336, MSRP 29505. Sport NU 009708, MSRP 26035. G4 NHF 05848, MSRP 18385. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Remember the song, The Times They Are A-Changin'? This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, and that is exactly what has happened in the real estate business. That is why I team up with Kelly Erb, or Hugh Mallory, or Elizabeth Kulo, Melanie Simpson, or Diane Balkin. With one of them as a marketing partner and my old self as a point person, we have taken the changing real estate market and turned it into our benefit and our clients'. Today, we talk about escalation and appraisal gap clauses, bidding wars, and which is the best deal for our client. And what you see is not always what you get. Most people call me Shell Dunn because they've heard that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. So before you make a move in real estate, remember to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure I'm one of them. Reach me, Sheldon Rosengarten, Shell Dunn, at memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. That's 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
Now, back to Sports Time. on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
I couldn't believe it either, but that thing runs like new.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
My nail tech knows how to keep a little secret. I don't wish for my success, I speak it. I caught a buzz and you did too, but you tweaking. I look like I've been getting money, how reeking. You smell me, that's LV. Walk around with my chest out, my skin smooth, I'm healthy.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This is for all the biggest crunch time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskell. It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Brett, what I learned today from the Daily Memphian is that Elliot Perry, and it's just amazing how well he represents this city. But he was honored yesterday by the Museum of Modern Art and the Black Arts Council at a benefit. And obviously, most know about his art collection and how much he does go and collect art. But the support he has shown to the modern African-American artists out there is fantastic. And every time I see him do so, it doesn't surprise me how good of a human being he is. But an unbelievable idol, unbelievable example of what a Memphian should be through and through. Shout out to Elliot Perry. And he was going to do this without telling anyone. I mean, he was going to do it anonymously and have no one in the city to know about it. Good on the Daily Memphian for finding that story and reporting.
Every time I'm around him, I will go, Elliot Perry, you good soul, you good man.
Yep.
And he is. And several years ago, around this time, during some of the protests, he called me and he said, Brett, I need your help. He said, Can you help me with a bond and bail and defense fund? I said, you got it. Coming your way, no doubt about it. Can't tell him no, wouldn't tell him no. Elliot Perry, just one of the finest people ever in this community. I also learned this about a fine person, and I love him. Shaquille O'Neal, what a good heart, good spirit, picking up the tab for an entire restaurant in New York City and left the biggest tip the restaurant employees said they ever received. I don't know what the tab was. I bet it wasn't cheap. Love Shaq. Mm-hmm. Shaq has a good life, and Shaq enjoys life and others.
And he's a great businessman. I don't know if he gets enough credit for what he's done in the business world. He's so good at it. He's so good at it. What I could have done without is, like, you look at a guy who, legend in a Cardinal uniform as the manager, Tony La Russa. What's happening to him on the South Side's bad. And the questions are being raised about
senior moments.
Should he be fired? He's having senior moments. The record's bad, 29 and 31.
He had one in 2011 in the World Series when he got the pitching fouled up down in Arlington.
He's had horrible bullpen decisions, bad situational baseball decisions. We talked about intentionally walking Trey Turner in a 1-2 count last week. And then with all these things, he's had arrogance and sort of defending those decisions, not playing well to the media. And you have Fire Tony chants starting on the South Side. And I understand, like, when you talk about a team, there's been more to the White Sox being bad than just Tony La Russa. They've had injuries. They've had disappointment. But no one seems to be happy, and they're losing their way on the South Side.
Have you ever been to the Chase Park Hotel in St. Louis?
I have.
I never have. You know, he lived there in his entire managerial stint.
You're kidding.
They would set him up in a room at the beginning of the year. That's where he never moved to St. Louis, and it was under threat of bodily harm if you told he was there. And after his stint was over, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch did a story on the man in room 213. Tony La Russa.
I think they do extended stay there too. I think they do.
He lived there his entire tenure.
That's wild to even think about.
Could have done without. Nobody in Omaha do a horns down sign. It really makes Texas mad. It gets in their feels when you do the horn sign down. I'm sure when they come to the SEC, They'll never see that anywhere during football season. Texas and Texas A&M, they act really soft to be big, bad Texans.
Yeah. They have an arrogance. Speaking of arrogance, they have an arrogance about them. Looking forward to tonight, on top of what we're going to see in the NHL in the Stanley Cup, the Avs versus Lightning game 1 tonight in Denver. I'm looking forward to see Jack Flaherty return to the mound. It's been a while.
Me too.
It's been a while, and you mentioned it yesterday. Best thing that could happen to the Cardinals besides maybe going and trading for an arm.
I'm going to AutoZone Park tonight where the Redbirds, if they win, they will be in first place at the end of tonight's game. Redbirds against Nashville. Damn Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Also, we're going to have...
You're supposed to say that anytime Nashville comes up, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I guess. Yes. I don't really. The beef is just. I don't involve myself in that. We also have the I get you. Freeway Series tonight as well. Reed Detmers versus Tyler Anderson. Tyler Anderson 7-0 with a 3.07 ERA for the Dodgers.
Live from the U.S. Open tonight. Picks night for them as well. Looking forward to seeing the panel make their picks. And sports in Boston the next 4 days. Finals, U.S. Open, and Cardinals Red Sox at Fenway.
And by the way, did y'all see what happened at the Freeway Series last night?
Yeah.
My gosh, that ump got hit in the 9th inning from a broken bat single from Mike Trout. He just was bleeding a little bit, but found its way in between the bars on his face mask. That was a scary moment. He had to leave the game. But that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Alex Kuhn, John Goen, and Matt Babcock for their contributions to the program. For Brett, for Bryant, for Colin, I'm Gabe. Enjoy your night and be safe. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have.